thunder shower here and there, but limited. Nothing more than a spot shower, but lots of clouds tonight, 67. Thursday night and Friday, changeable skies with periods of rain and thunderstorms, heavy downpours of rain at times. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Summer making a comeback by the end of the weekend. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their Honor Flight today at gsl-honorflight.org. And for HVAC services, aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this America.
.71 FM Talk.
Given that, what did you make of your fellow Democratic Senator John Fetterman today when he was asked about these New York primaries? He said the dirtbag left is surging, I believe is how he described it.
Again, for me, if you want to heal a country, you can't be picking fights. I think we need to understand that our party is not homogenous. One of the things that makes the Democratic Party great is it's a big tent party. We need to stay that way. The focus has got to be the November elections.
So there's Senator Cory Booker. Meanwhile, New York City is electing the big tent Democrats to represent them in the midterm primary. The big tent Democrats being those socialists. That's the big tent. The big tent of the Democratic Party has expanded itself as far left as it possibly can go. As far left as I think we've seen it in my lifetime. If you're a millennial like myself, you've never witnessed anything like this before. When did the wall come down officially? What year did the Berlin Wall fall?
89.
And when did Reagan tell him to tear this sucker down? I think to myself about how socialism, for people who are even 10 years older than we are, and we're in our 40s, and we're millennials, folks. So that's really loud. When you are somebody who is in midlife, and you don't really have a connection to the Soviet Union, to the socialist regime that actually had some measurable power and influence on the world, where America, Ronald Reagan, came up and said, all right, enough of this. Stop it. Tear down this wall. We don't have memories of it. We have an education, God willing, that points to it. Probably why you see these young guns in New York, and Mom Donnie, of course, championing all of the good that government will do when you turn everything over to them to provide you what they determine that you need. New York went socialist again last night, which we said yesterday on the show was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. I told you, these people their hobby is voting. That's what they do. They don't have all of these other things that are consuming their lives where it's like you try to fit in the politics when you absolutely have to. This is the point. This is the purpose. Their job is to implement socialism so that they don't have to have a job. I don't even think that that's how it's going to work in the end. I don't know if they know how it's going to work in the end. That's the thing about socialism and its prevalence right now. The flex that socialism is in the Democrat Party. I don't know if they're that stupid or if they're that devious. Haven't determined yet.
Well, if we all have universal basic income, then we can all be painters.
So they're that stupid. Okay, got it. Was that facetious, or are you really hoping to paint?
Oh, that was definitely facetious.
If you were going to be a painter, what mechanism would you use to paint? Would you be like a watercolor guy, finger paints?
Oil on canvas.
Oil on canvas. Like finger painting, but with my toes. It's abstract in the best possible Hunter Biden kind of way. All you need is a ruse and a scam so that people buy it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Hunter Biden way.
I think this show needs to get a little bigger.
Well, this is certainly the pathway for that. Toe painting. I don't know. I said yesterday, midterm or primary elections in states that aren't Illinois or Missouri, to me, are rarely entertaining and almost always unfulfilling. And last night was another example of why. So it happened. The socialists are continuing to flex their muscles in the Democratic Party. And there's nobody in the Democratic Party who's saying, other than Fetterman, nobody else is out there saying, I don't know that this is a good thing. I was thinking this morning on my drive in here to work, I was thinking, I wonder how Nancy Pelosi is doing. Now, notice, I say I wonder. I don't worry, because I don't care for her individually. But do you remember when Nancy Pelosi was the Speaker of the House? She ruled that sucker with an iron fist. Potentially one of the most effective speakers of the House that Congress has ever seen. Her ability to coalesce Democrats of all different types of walks. This is the interesting thing. To hear the Democrats say right now, oh, we're a Big Ten party. Well, you haven't been. You have litmus tests that everybody has to sign, seal, and deliver in order to be an acceptable part of that party. There are a lot of things that you have to subscribe to, but it's always a whole bunch of little things that come together to make one big thing. That was kind of the liberal part of the Democratic Party, right? Because you want freedom, you want liberty, you want to be able to live all sorts of different ways, do all sorts of different things without the government coming in and oppressing you and regulating you and being the moral police and all of that type of stuff. You wanted out of that. And so you kind of had to lock arms with your friends and your citizen neighbors in ways that said, you know what, there's not enough of us, but if your group joins our group, there might be enough of us. And they did that successfully. Pretty much in the name of liberty. At least decades ago they did. Now it gets to the point where there are all these litmus tests all the time. And this is really where the frequently mentioned on this show 15 Pieces of Flair comes in. The Office Space reference to the forced showing of all of the virtues that you espouse. If you really think about it, the concept of the hate has no home here sign that must be put in your yard. The default understanding of a home is that hate lives there. So you must prove every opportunity you get that hate actually doesn't live here. My neighbors didn't put up the sign, so I guess you know what that means. When you have to put up a sign that says hate has no home here, and that sign is such an important part of understanding what the modern Democratic Party stands for. It's a laundry list in really pretty colors. It's a laundry list of things that you must stand for. You can't, in America, at least up until this point, you certainly can. But in that America, you can't be for 80% of that. You have to be for 100% of that. And by virtue, because this is what we do, we publicly peddle our virtue, because if we don't put it out there, then the worst is assumed. Our virtue is signaled to everybody. Look at all of the things I stand for. Intra-LGBT community, there's a large portion of the LGB community that says no T. I'm not in the community, but I look and I can read and I can see that there are people in the LGBT community that say the T thing, that's not really what I'm here for. So even that's not it. That's like one line on the hate has no home here. It's been acronymed because it's gotten too long to be able to just say as a word. It's an acronym. How would you pronounce LGBT?
Lug butt.
Didn't see that coming. Should have seen it. Maybe we need a memorandum of understanding of the pronunciation of LGBT.
Oh, meow.
For
lug butt.
Yeah, this show's going places. If you have within this community that's supposed to be so broad that it has to be acronymed, they don't agree upon what we're going to call the community, but yet you're supposed to put a whole sign in there that lumps in all these other sorts of causes or communities. They require each other in order to have a big enough coalition to go against what the GOP should be, which is small government constitutionality. I mean, kind of full stop. That's about it, right? You want the most limited government necessary in order to flex as hard as you can on the Constitution of the United States. That's what the GOP should be. Is that what the GOP is? No, it's a different form of big government, and the real test of true Republicans or true conservative small government Republicans is how much can you get back to that, which means you have to elect people who want to shrink their own responsibility. It's a tough job. When Fetterman is out there saying the dirtbag Democrats, is that what he called them? And you've got Senator Booker going, This isn't how we're going to save the country here. He's like, gets real
given
righteous.
That, what did you make of your fellow Democratic Senator John Fetterman today when he was asked about these New York primaries? He said the dirtbag left is surging, I believe is how he described it.
Again, for me, if you want to heal a country, you can't be picking fights.
That's all they do. If you want to heal the country, you can't be picking fights. That is literally all that the Democrats have been doing for the entire time that Donald Trump has been on scene, on the stage. All they do is pick fights. They don't even care about policy. We don't discuss policy. We don't discuss the Democrat way to solve education. We discuss how Donald Trump is going to ruin education, how Donald Trump is going to only, tax the poor to benefit the rich. All it is it all roads lead us back to Donald Trump. And all they have to do is pick fights because they don't want a solution. They don't want peace after the fight. They want you to know that the fight is all that matters. And if they were to actually solve the fight, what they would end up doing is putting themselves out of business once again. So everything has to come back to Donald Trump. The entire platform of the Democratic Party is to pick fights. So Fetterman apparently got the memo, and he said that there's some dirtbags on the left. And Booker's like, oh, we don't do that. No, yes, you do. It's all you do.
Point of order. Did he say that they don't do that? Could he have just been saying, well, this is the way you heal a country, but we're not going to choose to do that?
That's even worse. That means they know it and they've run the other direction.
All right. I've been put in my place.
That was really for Booker, not for you.
Thank you.
Sorry, you were in the way.
Yeah, I was trying to help him out.
I just can't take these people seriously, and I don't think the country takes them seriously either. And if New York wants to go all out socialist, I'm sorry that I saw this phrase on X, and I thought it was a very sad but apropos statement. I'm sorry that you are going to be the first post-America city. I hope the only. Everybody who loves socialism flock to New York and dwell in it. Just live it up. But the rest of us, hard pass. No thanks. Tom Shillue is going to be with us when we come back here. When we talk about how, it's a big tent, the Democrats are a big tent. Everybody's loving everybody, and we got to be all together and everything. Nate Bargatze is not allowed to go to a UFC 250 fight because he likes UFC and he got the opportunity to go to the White House. Now people are like, I don't think that I can think he's funny anymore. I really trust that Nate Bargatze is way smarter than this. But what is Nate Bargatze supposed to do when all eyes right now are centered on him because he chose to show up? I think, did he do any interviews? I think he was just in the background of a picture and someone's like, there's Nate Bargatze, get him. Tom Shillue, comedian, author, panelist on Gutfeld, host on Fox Nation, Fox News contributor, and in St. Louis this weekend. It's going to be with us on the Annie Frey Show to react next. The Retirement Advisory Group. You find them online at retirementkey.com, 314-993-9494. If you're nearing retirement and you're looking at everything you've saved, you may be pairing up Social Security with it, maybe an inheritance, whatever it is, you're putting it all together and you're going, gosh, is it time? I'd really like for it to be time, but maybe it's not time. Maybe if I retire now, it won't be enough. You got to answer those questions. They're smart questions to ask, but when you're in that window of time, in your late 50s, in your early 60s, maybe you've even retired already and you're trying to make sure that everything is in good working order, the Retirement Advisory Group answers those questions, and they put you on a path with a personalized, structured income plan that's going to give you the peace of mind to enjoy the heck out of your retirement, out of the grandkids, out of the travel, out of the I don't have to go anywhere at any time I don't want to, whatever retirement looks like for you. The Retirement Advisory Group is ready to give you that peace of mind. Schedule your no-cost, no-obligation review of your retirement at 314-993-9494. RetirementKey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Take your lawn from good to great with my friends at Lawn Enforcement. I'm talking expert lawn care services to keep your lawn in order. And here's what they'll do for you. Anybody can mow your grass. At Lawn Enforcement, they want to enhance your property. They'll do the mowing and the trimming. They'll fertilize and implement a weed control program and erosion control, which includes retaining walls if you need it. They can landscape. They can design and install your flowers, your shrubs, your trees, all of your hardscapes. No project is too big or too small for my friends at Lawn Enforcement. You can check them out online at yourlawnenforcement.com. So instead of envying your neighbor's lawn, your neighbors are going to be wishing they had the lawn and landscape that you have. Go ahead and enjoy your space. Be proud when you entertain your friends and your family. They've been in business for over 30 years. Be sure and tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to yourlawnenforcement.com.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales. And voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder, but our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
In a country like ours that is the most big, it's comedy that brings us together through jokes about the experiences we all share. There is almost nothing that the Andy Griffith Show, the Jeffersons, Saturday Night Live, or Seinfeld have in common, other than the premise that a laugh can be found almost anywhere in this country on nearly any topic. When done right, American comedy shines light into dark places in a digestible way. For example, Blazing Saddles and All in the Family confronted bigotry by ridiculing prejudice. Walls were broken down in the process. Few things have that kind of power in America. I've always loved stand-up comedy and encourage young artists to give it a try because I truly believe its authenticity will stand the test of time. And everyone knows that AI is not that funny.
The last minute. That's what you get from Nate Bargatze in May on 60 Minutes. And now here we are in the middle to end of June. Nate Bargatze is in the news, not because he's got a movie out, not because he's been incredibly successful with his Netflix specials, his SNL hits. Everybody loves him explaining like why our units of measurement are called what they are. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's hilarious. He's in trouble, at least in the public eye, with some, because he went to the White House for the UFC fight. Let's get our guest here. Tom Shillue joins us, comedian, author, panelist on Gutfeld, of course, host on Fox Nation, Fox News contributor. And Tom, you're coming to St. Louis this weekend for the Funny Bone. We're excited to have you in town and excited to have you here on the show.
Thanks so much. I'm so excited to be coming back. I'm actually doing the other club this time. I've never done the Westport location of the Funny Bone. I always come to St. Charles.
Yeah.
Because I love that Streets of St. Charles. It's a great place to hang out. I feel like I get a nice suburban crowd.
Yes.
But I'm like, this is like the city, right? I'm going to be in there.
That's right. Westport will see you here on Friday and Saturday. People can go to stlewisfunnybone.com to get their tickets before they're gone. So we're excited to have you back. And, you know, I'm sure that you're connected in a lot of different ways to a lot of different comedians. I don't know how well, if you know Nate Bargatze personally, he seems like, from the outside looking in, and this is part of his brand, I suppose, like maybe the most accessible, nice, normal dude who, if any of those nice, normal dudes got an invitation to go to the White House and watch a UFC fight, I think 100 out of 100 would say, heck yeah, I'm going to do that. Sounds like it might have been a mistake for him in some circles.
Well, they want to push back on him. They want to kind of paint him into a corner. He's a non-political guy. Okay. He always has been. I remember when he moved to the city, and as far as Nate is concerned, I'm going to use the term conservative, not in a political way, but he lives a conservative lifestyle. He moved to the city with his wife, and he would do stand-up. His act was clean. He talked about his life. He lived a kind of a conservative lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And so when I would see him, we did the clubs together, and I used to love him. I would have him on the shows, and I thought he was kind of like a real find for me because I had already been established, and he was out there working the alternative clubs, you know, and I would be like, oh, I got to put Nate on my show, or, you know, I would find ways to work with him. Last time I saw him was in Europe. We were performing at the Dublin Comedy Festival together. He's a great Christian guy. You know, I'm Catholic. And so we would talk about that. And I knew he was, again, I don't know what his politics are, but I always felt he was kind of a conservative guy, but he kept his mouth shut about it. Smart. In the Hollywood way. He knows how to play the game. And so he never was political. But now that he didn't even get political again. He just showed up at a White House event.
The People's House, which the left keeps reminding us that it's the People's House.
Yes. So I think basically the moral of this story is that the elites in Hollywood who don't like conservatives, they don't really care if you are conservative. They don't even really care if you're going to vote conservative. Just keep your mouth shut about it, because now that he has appeared with President Trump, he has legitimized him. And so they're going to try to cancel him for that. It's a terrible system that's still in place. People think it's gone away. It has not gone away.
Yeah. Tom Shillue speaking with us here on the Annie Frey Show at the Westport Funny Bone this Friday and Saturday. Tickets at stlewisfunnybone.com. You know, there's a part of me that thinks we're getting a really good example of this with the World Cup in town, like in the big town, as in the country, but also America 250. There is an excessive, and I love every drop of it, amount of joy right now around patriotism and love for the United States of America, even from people who are not from the United States of America. And I pair that joy with the joy that comedy is supposed to bring people. And there are a million different ways to approach that probably center goal of making people laugh, just giving people the opportunity to let loose a little bit and laugh about Lord knows what. And Nate Bargatze has been incredibly successful at making people laugh about really basic, everyday things. And I'm wondering if the fact that he's not out there talking about politics, like you said, trying to keep the conservatives quiet, whether he is or isn't, that he hasn't made it a central part. Is there a threat to the people who hate joy, to the people who hate laughter, and, you know, not prioritizing the biggest cause that's out there all the time with angst? Does a guy like Nate Bargatze threaten that way of life just by not even acknowledging it?
Well, he does to them, because to the people, the elites and the cultural Marxists who want to control this conversation, they want their world to be the world. And conservatives have their opinions. And so, you know, you can see people on Gutfeld, we do it all the time. They'll make fun of Bruce Springsteen or different celebrities, Barbara Streisand, who are mouthing off about politics. Okay. They will do that. But to tell you the truth, conservatives don't hold it against these artists in that they'll still listen to Bruce.
Yeah, you
right?
like the music.
They still go. Yeah. And so I talk to people all the time. They come on, they say, oh, you know, Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies. You know, I can't stand when, De Niro, he won't shut up about politics. You know, on the left, they want you out So, like, these are the kind of comments you would see after Nate showed up at this event, and he went. He's a fan of the fights, so he wanted to go see the fights. He got invited, so he's going to go. He goes there, and then you see on social media, I had suspicions about him. His act always weirded me out. I felt there was a secret agenda. There was a secret conservative agenda. So they want to control the conversation all the time, and they want their people to be the only ones who are culturally allowed. And I'm outside that bubble. It doesn't matter for me. Like, if I were 28, I used to keep my mouth shut about politics because I wanted to get hired by Comedy Central. I wanted to work on MTV or these different channels where you were able to break in. Now, listen, it's over. I'm out of the closet. I got my crowd. They show up. They're all like right wing. I love it. So for me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, they'll be there this weekend at the Westport Funny Bone Friday and Saturday. Tom Shillue will be in town here to hang out with you. So go get your tickets there. I'm thinking to myself about what Nate Bargatze is kind of facing right now. And you've gone through it, and you've really established you have a brand. People have an expectation to what they're going to get from you. You deliver it. I feel like the left, the cryhards, the people out there who are trying to make everyone miserable by not letting anyone think for themselves, I kind of feel like right now they're losing. I don't know if it's a moment in time because of the America 250 or something, but I feel like that grip that they've had before on the cancel culture and all of that, I just think there's an enormous fatigue. I don't think people are for it or opposed to it. I just think they're tired of it. Do you notice that at all?
Yes. And I think that the reason that they're doing this with Nate, I mean, it's quite interesting. They're not going to go after the guys who are on Gutfeld because they're like, oh, they're off the reservation. Yeah. So they're not even worried about us anymore. But Nate's the biggest comedian in the country. He's the numero uno. He's the act of the moment. And like you said, he just had a big movie come out. Mm-hmm. They want to punish him because he is so successful. They did that with the guys. I remember the blue collar guys. Remember Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy? They were the biggest act in the country. The people at Comedy Central, they couldn't stand those guys. They didn't want to put them on, but the ratings were just too high. They had to put the blue collar guys on, and they resented it. All the executives, they're waiting for the day to get rid of the blue collar guys. But the thing is, all the blue collar guys did was make money, and they weren't political. Mm-hmm. They just signaled kind of red state energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, they never liked those guys. And that's why at the time, I tried to kind of run under the radar. I worked on The Daily Show, and nobody knew at the time that I was conservative, but this was back in the days, I voted for George H.W. Bush, they didn't care as much back then.
Didn't mean the same thing as voting for Trump. What are your thoughts right now? Jimmy Kimmel, I'll get the right Jimmy out there. Jimmy Kimmel is taken, as he referred to it, a voluntary break this time from doing a show this summer, and has invited Rosie O'Donnell, who just got a facelift, and I want to say, I think her facelift looks great. I don't know if you guys have commented on that, but I actually think that her facelift is a good market for people who might be considering that. But the possibility exists, or maybe it's confirmed, that Rosie O'Donnell is going to come in and fill in for Jimmy Kimmel. Some people are putting it out here like this is the biggest affront to Donald Trump. How does this factor in the comedy world?
Well, I think, Rosie was a comedian. She was part of the fold back then. Mm-hmm. And I remember when her show, I guess it was in the 90s when she first had the show, and then the early 2000s. It was huge. The Rosie Show. Yeah, it was huge. And it was fun, and it was groundbreaking in that, do you remember they called her the Queen of Nice? She was never really a nice person, from what I understand, but her show was a kind of precursor to what I think Jimmy Fallon ended up doing with The Tonight Show, which was, hey, let's just bring on entertainers. We're not going to try to, unearth, deep secrets or whatever. We're just going to have fun. So she would have people on, and she would, Tom Cruise, I love you, and then later on she got political, because I remember when she tried to confront Tom Selleck over his, advocating the Second Amendment, and the show got kind of sour. But at first it was a fun show. And what was interesting? She used to feud with Donald Trump back then, back and forth, and this was there was no Facebook or Instagram, but she would, she kind of would poke fun of Donald Trump. And she talks about it to this day. She didn't like him. He didn't like her. And whether it was by emails or Donald Trump would issue a statement to the press, he hated Rosie. It was this kind of feud back and forth. It was like an internet feud, pre-internet, right?
The old-fashioned way.
Yeah, but I thought they both were interesting people. I said, this is interesting. Donald Trump feuding with Rosie O'Donnell. This is how you get headlines. Like they have these little feuds. They knew how to use the internet at the very early stages of the internet. I thought they should have an appreciation for each other. And I think deep down, Donald Trump does appreciate Rosie because she's such a weirdo. She doesn't appreciate him though.
Yeah. Good content for both of them. If she does this, is it confirmed that this is going to happen? I'm not. I think it is.
It's not confirmed, but she's been offered. What he does is he always takes a couple of months off in the summer.
Right.
I don't know why they do it. It's just amazing.
Probably
in the old days, you had to work hard. I know exactly. Take the time off. Well, what happens is the ratings really dip in the summer, and it's best for the host to get off and then blame the ratings dip on somebody else.
There you go.
Perfect. But I bet that Rosie, if she does a few days or a week on Kimmel, I bet her ratings will be good because she's weird. She's got problems. She's definitely psychologically damaged. You can see that when she makes little videos for social media. But that's what sells. People like people who are on the edge. They're just weird enough.
You got to see what happens because you're not 100% sure where it could go. I was going to ask you that question. Could this be a bad move for Jimmy Kimmel to put Rosie O'Donnell, to give her this platform and this opportunity? I mean, maybe he doesn't feel that area turf is threatened at all, but people could be interested to see what she wants to say.
Yes. And she could get high ratings. I don't think he's concerned about that at all. Jimmy Kimmel is fine because his ratings aren't that good anyway. He doesn't do very well, but it doesn't matter because he is culturally accepted. Why do they have Jimmy Kimmel host the Oscars? What? Yeah. They do because he signals to them that he's one of them. So he's politically acceptable. And so his career is fine. Even if he lost his show, he would be invited to all the dinner parties and he'd be asked to host things and he's all over the place. So to them in Hollywood, they always say, oh, it's about money. Hollywood is not red or blue. It's green. That's so false. They don't care about making money in Hollywood. They care about being accepted by their peers.
Yeah. And the entertainment that would be coming out of Hollywood would make more green if it were actually more adherent to that philosophy.
Yes.
Before we let you go, Tom Shillue speaking with us. We'll be here Friday and Saturday at the Westport Funny Bone, stlewisfunnybone.com. When people come to a Tom Shillue show, if they haven't been to one yet, just give us a little information about what your show is like.
Well, I come from like the Nate Bargatze school of comedy and the guys I used to work with, like Jim Gaffigan. I opened for him for years. We used to tour around the country. So I like to do personal material about my life. And it's funny because my crowd is really conservative and they see me doing politics on Gutfeld all the time. We do that at the end of the show. So basically I'll come out and you're going to get observational humor. And for people, they come back again and again.
Yeah.
And I want to see some new people, especially because I'm at the Westport Club. So if you have never come out to see me, I want to sell out because I've sold out the last 2 times I came to town. So come out, get tickets to the late show because that's where I suffer. My crowd likes to come. If I could do 4:00 shows, I would do them.
The matinees.
They want to go home, go to bed, right?
Yeah, we understand.
I bet. So if anybody's out there who stays up late, if you have the guts, come to the 9:00 show on Friday, because that's where I have trouble getting people coming out to the show.
Well,
but we're going to have a great time. We do observational humor. I talk about my life. I talk about my wife, my family, my kids, my dad. And then at the end, we always do politics, and you might get a little bit of Joe Biden.
I was just going to ask if Joe Biden still exists in the whole repertoire, because you have nailed that. I miss that more than I miss, of course, the president.
Yeah, I know. Well, people used to say to me, I bet I wish you got reelected. And I would say, no, I'd rather be out of work than have this guy as president.
I know why I'm doing Joe Biden and criticizing him at the same time.
It's fantastic. Well, we will show up. St. Louis is ready to welcome you with open arms to the Midwest this Friday and Saturday to the Westport Funny Bone, stlewisfunnybone.com. Thanks for being with us, Tom, today. It's been great talking to you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Annie.
Take care. Bye-bye. Tom Shillue at the Westport Funny Bone. Again, if you've never been, if you've heard us talk about going to stand-up, and you're like, oh, that's not really my thing. Oh, I promise you it's your thing. If you tune in to Gutfeld at night, what it'd be at 9 o'clock, right? Isn't it at 9 o'clock on? Yeah, it's at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Central.
Yeah.
Just go see Tom Shillue there at the Westport Funny Bone Friday and Saturday. You will love it. You'll be like, I just wish I would have done this before. It's a great environment. You're going to be around people who have watched Gutfeld in their living rooms and their lazy boys at 9 o'clock. So just go see him. I think he's got earlier shows than that, but if you want those tickets, you better hurry. stlewisfunnybone.com. And we've got some other shows happening this weekend. In July, I just wanted to tell you before we go to a break here, Ryan, that the Funny Bone is welcoming Michael Winslow back in July.
Oh, no. Is he coming back?
He's coming
here?
back. Yeah.
Well, you think he'll come in here?
I hope so.
Ooh, okay.
Of all of the things that I've done on the YouTube channel, your interview with Michael Winslow going beep, bop, boop is like tops. So.
It's great. You were gone just that day, and I got to interview him.
Yes. You did a fantastic job, according to the YouTube viewers. All right, let's take a quick break. We got Harris Faulkner coming up in about an hour, a little less than an hour at 1:30. The YouTube poll for today, do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? Yes or no, and we'd like to know if maybe it's yes and you support him, but yeah, it gets to be a lot, or you don't have a problem with it at all. YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey. We'll be right back.
This is Michael McGreevy. Escape to Margaritaville night at Busch Stadium on Friday, June 26th. Celebrate the legacy of Jimmy Buffett with a special pregame performance by the Boat Drunks. With a special theme ticket, you'll receive a Margaritaville-inspired Cardinals cap. Plus, a portion of each ticket benefits Singing for Change. Kick back, relax, and enjoy a night where it's 5 o'clock somewhere, even at 7:15 first pitch. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
This is Jordan Walker. Celebrate Black Heritage Day, presented by your quality Ford dealers on Sunday, June 28th at Busch Stadium. This special culture and community event honors the impact, history, and legacy of the Black community in baseball and beyond. With a special themed ticket, you'll receive an exclusive Cardinals jersey designed by Corey Rogers. And don't miss a special heritage celebration in Budweiser Terrace before the game. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
Gentlemen, Mark Cox here. When's the last time you actually felt like yourself? Victory Men's Health specializes in hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, and longevity. It's built for everyday men who just want to feel better and perform their best. They already have offices in Town and Country, Sunset Hills, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. They're about to open a new location in Glen Carbon very soon. It's a higher standard of care just waiting for you. Learn more at victorymenshealth.com.
Looking for a smarter, safer way to invest? For a limited time, lock in a great rate with Together Credit Union's 11-month CD special. From day one, your return on investment is guaranteed. No market swings, no surprises. Just a competitive, fixed rate that steadily grows your deposit. Make your money work harder with a financial partner that puts you first. Visit a Together Credit Union branch near you or go online to togethercu.org to learn more. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Our YouTube live chat poll today is, do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? Ooh. Yes, and I support him. Yes, and I don't support him. Or no. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's not, are you tired of him being the president and doing the things he's doing? It's just, he's everywhere.
He's ubiquitous. So are you tired of that? We're asking you. It is 12:41. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Born in the Midwest, built on common sense. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis conservative.
Ubiquitous was the perfect word.
Was it?
I'm not surprised.
Oh, did you just look it up?
Yeah.
Can you read the definition?
Yeah. So read the poll question again.
Okay. Do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump?
And you said Trump is
Ubiquitous.
Present, appearing, or found everywhere at the same time.
Yeah. Good.
You should write books.
I will.
Consider it. The text line, 314-241-9797. Text us at 314-241-9797 on the Annie Frey Show text line. But I think we're going to take phone calls on it at 1 o'clock.
Sounds good.
Do you ever get Trump fatigue? And again, I'm probably going to rephrase or reclarify this every single time. I'm not talking about the man doing the job that I voted for and don't regret. I'm just talking about the talk about it all the time.
So I'm kind of answering the poll here, and I'm saying no, I really don't.
You're good.
Because I control that valve in my life. You know what I'm saying? I can decide how much news or discussion I'm having with people about it, or I can not. I can go all in, or I can kind of dial it back. And I feel like if I feel a little bit overwhelmed by the news, which I usually don't anyway, I can just kind of turn the volume down a little bit.
I don't know what would be comparable to this with you, but if you're somebody who doesn't like him, he is ubiquitous. He is everywhere all the time. And if you have a visceral negative reaction to the mention of his name, the reminder that he's there doing the president thing once again, I don't feel like you would feel as in control of that valve.
I think you're right. Because you would feel like if you think everything the man does is like a touch of Satan, then anything you ever see...
Maybe not even a full swipe of Satan.
Whatever. Anything you ever see happening, you got to be sort of on edge. Like, oh my gosh, he's destroying that now. So you almost had to pay attention to it.
Well, we want your text, 314-241-9797 on the Annie Frey Show text line. And jot that number down because that'll be the phone number to call in when we open the phone lines at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. Do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence, the ubiquitousness?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that is a word.
I didn't know. I'm making them up as I go here. Of the topic of Donald Trump. Yes, and I support him. Yes, but I don't support him. Or no. We'll be right back with Wiggins America. Signs that someone is lying to you. Ryan, did I tell you how great you look today?
Thank you.
We'll be right back. AirComfortService.com, 314-513-0091. 24/7 emergency service available to you. So I know that right now it would be very ironic if you were in the middle of an HVAC emergency at this moment and you were just pacing back and forth in your room going, what do I do? What do I do? Annie comes on the radio and says, call 314-513-0091. If that's not the situation that you're in presently right now, you could find yourself in that situation. I don't know, 2 a.m. after a storm comes in, the power comes back on, and your air conditioner isn't cooling, and it's 85 degrees outside. Then you call 314-513-0091. They offer 24/7 emergency service. If your AC stops working at night, weekend, holiday, Air Comfort Service is there to guide you into a solution to get you right back into your comfort zone. You can trust them. I have in my house many times. 314-513-0091 online at aircomfortservice.com.
We're here to celebrate America's 250th birthday in 2026. This is 97.1 FM Talk. America 250 is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening Screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins!
Oh, yeah, a little crossover beat right there. This is Wiggins America. This is signs someone is lying to you in conversation. And I'm going to give you as many of these as we can get through here so that you can know.
Do you feel like are you good at telling if someone is lying, not telling the full truth, saying something nice that maybe they don't really believe? How good are you at
I'm good
reading?
at picking up false flattery because that is lame. And I just sat next to somebody on a plane who was doing that.
Were they staring straight at you the whole time?
A little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a little weird. She was a talker.
Oh,
and
just like jump me out of the plane.
very friendly and really good at discussion, which made me a little leery of her.
She was in the CIA. There's a piece
Possible.
of information you had that she needed.
Yeah, she got it, I'm sure, because I don't really hold back.
You're like, my social security number is 111111111.
Yeah, she sat down and I said it.
She was like, here, let me write that down for you.
Right.
Do you need anything else?
I wrote it down on her hand, like
Yeah.
being real cool. Check that out. It's my social security. Anyway, I can pick up on, I think, certain types of lying, but I don't know that I'm the best at. I trust people a lot.
I know.
And it gets me in trouble, but I don't know that I'd have it any other way.
No, I think that's a virtue.
It can be. You can get burned, but it's just the way I am.
Or you can be skeptical or suspicious of everybody and not really have any of that joy that you thrive in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I thrive in.
You're incredible.
The first is, thank you. Wait a minute. Is that a lie?
No, look at my face.
I can't tell what you're doing. I can't pick up on this. Maybe this list will help.
I'm a sincere person.
Mm.
I am.
Yes, I agree. Of course you are.
And honest and direct. If you've got a problem, I'll tell you. Go, next.
The first one is a change in speech patterns when somebody lies. So they normally speak a certain way, but maybe when they're lying, they might get a little more energetic or they might get a little cooler and cold about it.
If you don't know about that, just raise children because they don't know how they don't know their tells. It's
Yeah,
just
they don't.
like,
They don't.
I'll constantly be like, I'm not going to say which kid is which, but I'll be like, you're doing the thing again.
Yeah.
Just tell me the truth. Let's just get past this. And you might want to stop doing that with your hands when you're not telling me the truth
Yeah.
for your future.
Yeah. I know somebody, if I'll say, hey, did you talk to so-and-so? They'll say, yeah. I'm like, no, you didn't.
No.
Because they might be trying to come up with in their head a way to think.
Yeah, they're gaming
The answer
this-
is
yeah.
yes, but I didn't talk to him in the way that you hoped or very recently.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you yes anyway. The next one is the use of non-congruent gestures. If a person says yes but shakes their head no, it may indicate that they're not telling the truth.
There's a lot of body language experts that
Yeah.
you'll have like a G7 meeting and it'll be really tense. And then the news stations, the body language expert, I feel like they're sitting behind glass somewhere in the studio and they only get to come out twice a year. It's like the elf on the shelf. And you put them on the set and they're like, did you see how when she said yes, she shook her head no? She's lying.
Oh, yeah.
They'll do that.
They will do that. G7, in specific, whenever they have those summits, Putin sat down and then Macron walked over behind him and sat down.
Yeah.
That means that one of them was being dominant.
And I'm always like, why don't we just get a few you guys together to negotiate world peace and just leave it to you guys?
They wouldn't say anything. They'd just be gesturing with their shoulders.
It's a staring contest.
But they wouldn't do anything at all. They'd just be
nothing.
stationary.
Just be going wiggling.
Can't give them the upper hand.
This is incredible radio. Also a sincere compliment.
Not saying enough is one tell When truth-telling witnesses describe what they saw and are asked, is there anything else, more details are revealed. But when liars are asked to go beyond their prepared stories, few to no other details are offered.
What's the source?
It is...
Legit?
Yeah, it's legit. It's forensiccollege.com.
They're saying that liars don't give more information than necessary?
They're saying that if they have a prepared story, they're not going to jump from that story much to be careful. This is like
I think that's
interrogation.
I think that's where you discover that they're liars. You just ask a question regarding a story that would have an obvious observational answer, and it just starts to spin.
Yeah. Like they're in Washington, D.C., and you're like, and what building was that? They're like, oh, the Arch. I think I caught you.
The Arch de Trump.
We were up in it in the egg de Trump. The next one is the opposite, saying too much. On the flip side, researchers from Harvard Business School determined that liars trying to deceive stretch the truth with too many words and too many details often, too.
Yeah, I think that people, unless they're pathological or like dark triad kind of stuff, I think that people who are liars get some, if you're a liar, if you're a comfortable liar, not something happened and you're kind of either ashamed of or there's a situation that you don't want to be fully honest about and all of a sudden you're in this world that you don't find yourself in. If you're somebody who's a comfortable liar, they just start talking and they don't even know the difference at some point between what was real and what wasn't.
This is somebody who's very comfortable lying, though. They just do it all the time. And a lot of these people, they do it in a way that even they forget that they're lying. It's just become so a part of the way that they speak to people, stretching the truth. How about an unusual rise or fall in vocal tone?
Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it.
You can't help yourself. Yeah, if you are familiar with somebody and you know what their well, they start squealing. Well, that's a good thing. I don't know.
There's a lot involved in that answer.
Does it ever go like bassy? I don't think so. Like with force. I'm telling the truth here, and I mean it. I don't think it ever goes low.
There was a certain amount of cake left in the fridge. I don't know where it went.
I like how your lies have to do with sneaking sweets. You got icing all over your face. You're like, I don't have any idea why this happened.
Basically, you have to talk like Martin Short doing Jiminy Glick. Where did you find your fashion?
Okay.
He goes up and down, up and down. All right, the direction of their eyes.
Yes.
Much has been discussed on this topic.
This is the biggest thing kids do when they're lying. I've gotten to the point where with one of my kids, I'm like, "Why are you looking over there? What's over there?" And then they look at me and turn their head like they're looking at me now out of the side.
Like a dog.
It's just like, just tell the truth. This isn't that big a deal. You're going to tell me the truth. You're not even going to be in trouble. We just need to get to the other side of this. And you're looking over there at the ceiling.
I have a friend, Kevin, who has a very guilty conscience for no reason. And so when you're just talking about him like something normal, he's looking around like, like to answer you, you're like hey. You look like you're lying.
Yeah.
But we're just talking about the Cardinal game or whatever.
Maybe you make him uncomfortable.
Well, I think everybody makes him a little uncomfortable. So last one is covering your mouth or eyes while you're talking, or excessive fidgeting. I guess you could add that one into that category too.
Excessive fidgeting.
Yes, Annie is fully covering her mouth and eyes and whole face. So whatever comes out of her mouth next,
Ryan,
do not trust it.
This is the best segment we do on this show. I'm so happy for Wiggins America.
Really walked into that.
Yeah. Can I stay it?
I don't see any excessive fidgeting, so you must be telling the truth.
Harris Faulkner, 1:30 on the Annie Frey Show. Your phone calls. Do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? 314-241-9797. Next. Stewart's American Mortgage. He's the bagel loan guy. Mortgages. Let's talk about him for a second. Refinances. You can use a bagel loan to refinance your current mortgage and do it with no closing costs. So if there's a better rate out there for you than maybe when you signed up for the current mortgage you have, then you need to work with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage and lock in a bagel loan so you don't have to pay the closing costs that go along with this process. 314-324-4440. Now let me get to something you need to know about that is here for a limited time. I'm talking to you if you're looking to purchase a new home. If you're looking to get a new 30-year loan for a new home purchase, you can get the bagel loan. Again, no closing costs with the bagel loan process on that new home purchase with a 30-year loan. And for the first year of that loan, lock in a 1% lower rate. This is an incredible opportunity only at Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777. Trump on Capitol Hill. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, arriving less than an hour ago for a lunch meeting with Senate Republicans after scrapping a planned signing ceremony for a housing bill that passed Congress with broad support.
They were going to do this at the Capitol, then he was going to meet with the Senate Republicans, and the reason is that he said we have to pass the Save America Act first. They don't seem to have the votes to do that, and that's going to be an issue of contention. Republicans are trying to campaign on affordability. Pulling back on the housing bill may undercut those efforts.
Fox's Chad Pergam on the Hill. The Senate has tried and failed to advance versions of the Save America Act, a voter ID bill. On his way into the meeting, the president telling reporters,
every election's important. We're doing very well. They want a lot of communists to come in. I'm saying it a little bit differently.
Pointing to last night's primary wins for Democratic Socialist candidates who ousted two House Democrats in New York primaries. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, who backed three winning candidates in all, says voters want a new kind of politics, focusing, he says, on American workers. Republicans criticize campaign priorities, including abolishing ICE. A separate Trump push for election reform has been struck down by a federal judge in Boston, ruling that an executive order requiring proof of citizenship to register to vote would violate the separation of powers. The same judge had issued a preliminary injunction last year after a challenge from Democrat-led states. The president also telling reporters,
Iran is making very big concessions. We'll see what happens, but it's been very, very, very powerful. It's going very, very well.
He has a White House meeting today with the NATO Secretary General, while Secretary of State Rubio is in the Middle East, meeting with allies. Some of them reportedly concerned the current deal is too soft on Iran.
The president's been cleared. If we're going to get a deal, it has to be a real deal and it has to be a good deal.
Otherwise, Rubio says President Trump has options. America is listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask Chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your health, how do you know what's right for you?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements. Not trends, your biology.
Learn more at Viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Partly sunny skies today, 84 for the high. Maybe a shower or thunder shower here and there, but limited. Nothing more than a spot shower, but lots of clouds tonight, 67. Thursday night and Friday, changeable skies with periods of rain and thunderstorms, heavy downpours of rain at times. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Summer making a comeback by the end of the weekend. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American.
Poll for today is, do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? Yes, and I support him. Yes, I don't support him. Or no. We basically want to know for you, not are you sick of Trump? Because, most of you listening who kind of feel the way I do, there are a ton of things that this president is doing that you're very grateful for. Some things you probably want to see more of. Some things maybe you want to see less of. But there's an ounce of regret that you supported this man however many times that you voted for him, including in 2024. And every time you even get a drop of Kamala Harris's voice back in your brain, you just fall on your knees and thank the Lord in heaven that he saved us from that disaster. So it's not about President Donald Trump, the executive. It's about the topic that seems to find its way into every nook and cranny of our lives. Do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? You can call us right now. We're taking phone calls at 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Call us and you can weigh in on the topic. We'd love to hear from you, but we're going to take texts as well. Ryan, you got anything on the text line?
Yeah, this one is from Randy. It says, I am not fatigued with Trump, but I am beyond fatigued and disgusted with the noise from those who can't stand him or anything he does, regardless of how it benefits America, and the very people who constantly whine and moan about him. I am fatigued with the left, says Randy. A person right after that who did not give their name said he just loves Trump's ambiguity. He's a guy doing his job. I guess that means, he will answer questions, especially anything even remotely concerning national security or deals or moves. He'll answer it, but he doesn't really answer it. And he's saying, I like that.
Do you feel like, does Trump come up in your circles at all? Not your non-work circles?
A little bit. It sort of comes up among when the dudes are sort of like letting their guard down. But it usually isn't, let's talk about Trump. It's usually some sort of issue, and then it drives toward, how does maybe Trump involve himself with this? So it's more issue-based. Stuff comes up a lot about whatever we're doing. Usually it's government intervention into life. That, oddly, is a topic that comes up a lot in my life. And it's probably because I'm talking to guys and doing business and stuff like that, and they just hate taxes and they hate intervention.
Do you talk to any girls who hate taxes?
No, but...
Hi.
Oh, wait, you do. You. There's
Me.
you.
That's me.
Yeah.
I hate taxes. I feel like it's hard for us to judge it because we're kind of adjacent to it in a public-facing way that I don't bring it into my private life at all. There isn't a time where I'm going to be in a conversation with folks about something at a sporting event, at a school event, at a church event, where I'm going to be like, so you guys, Donald Trump, did you see what he did? Never. It almost always gets brought up, but I'm never the one who introduces it to the group of people. A lot of people will want to hear my thoughts on a particular issue. Some of my dearest leftist friends want to fight with me for it. They just enjoy it. But the conversation was, as it goes back and forth, it really does. The people who bring it up and are critical of Donald Trump, I find they most frequently don't have all the facts of a given story. There is a consistency of talking points a set of facts that they've agreed upon that I don't, those facts might be accurate facts, but it's the portion of the story that is necessary for them to formulate an opinion that was predetermined before they ever knew that the new story had existed. They just hate Trump. And they need to have a new reason to hate Trump. I don't really find that... I don't find that there is a satisfaction on the end of that ever. Like, if you find someone who's willing to argue with you about Trump, maybe you're somebody on the left and you have a friend who's on the right, or if you're the person on the right and you have a friend who's on the left, there's not really a satisfaction that ever comes from any of those conversations. And we are more than 10 years into President Trump on the political stage. I just the question that I was going to ask today in the poll first was, do you know anyone in your life that has started to lean to the socialist tendency like the Democrat Party has? But I almost feel like at this point in my life, there are people who I know who I would say, yes, they absolutely have. I don't think that they would say that they are. But I do really believe, I kind of mentioned this on the air yesterday, but I really do believe that those people who have those more socialist-leaning tendencies have hostily cut me out of their life. I have not cut them out of my life, but they have removed me from theirs. I am persona non grata for people like that.
Another text coming in 314-241-9797. Yes, I am inviting you to text in the text line if you want to.
Same number to call, same number to text.
Yeah, we say it all the time, so just save it in your phone. It'd be real easy to communicate with the show. 314-241-9797. This one says, I don't have Trump fatigue. I have trash media fatigue. They create the madness, not Trump. Trump plays into it, though. Trump knows that environment and uses it. Wouldn't you say that?
He knows exactly what he's doing. He's always maneuvering, which I think is something that they don't like about him. He just he acknowledges himself as the most powerful person in any situation that he wants. Even by not being involved in the situation, he would be choosing not to be involved in whatever the topic du jour is, whatever the policy discussion is. He's just in 100% control of everything he does. To his credit and to his blame. If it fails, you're going to be able to pin it on him. But I think people are trying to pin an Iran failure on him. And these are people who are rooting for his failure over the benefit of the United States of America and the world. But first, the United States of America. Is America less safe if Iran goes nuclear? You better believe that we're less safe. And, this is something that Senator Talent said yesterday, which I think was a good point for him to make. Because we talk about, it'd be real bad if Iran had a nuke. What Senator Talent said on the show yesterday was, it's not just that Iran would have a nuke. Then all of the other places, if Iran has a nuke, then everybody has to have a nuke. So there's a domino effect, a cascade that isn't just about Iran. It's about what happens after Iran has a nuke, not even uses it, but now everybody's going to say, well, we have to have one too. And the president is trying to stop that from happening. I don't think that President Trump trolls just for fun. I don't think he wastes his time inserting himself into situations where he can be a troll when he doesn't have a cost-benefit analysis after he invests his time, his Truth Social characters, into making fun of somebody or branding someone else. I mean, Donald Trump is a one-man band to the Democrat Party and anybody in the Democrat Party. He himself has been able to do to the Democrat Party what the Democrat Party has done for the Republican Party my entire life, which is to brand the GOP, to say to the GOP, oh, these are self-righteous, high and mighty Christian Bible thumpers who, guess what? They don't even live up to their own moral standard. You know how we can tell you? They're sinners. Let me point out the ways that they're sinners. Don't forget, side note, footnote, should be the headline. Sinners are people who are admitted, sinners are people who are, or Christians are people who are admitted sinners forgiven by Jesus Christ. So if you're a true Christian, you have to understand and acknowledge why I am a broken person and why I would need Christ, i.e. Christian, i.e. a savior. What the left has done very successfully up until in my lifetime, I'd pretty much say Donald Trump, they have been able to label the Republicans as the nose in the air, self-righteous people in Washington, D.C. who live perfect lives, so they say, and want to control yours. This is what the left is today. It's exactly the same thing. The details may be a little bit different, but the idea is the same. You have been watching politics in, the Reagan, the Clinton. Like, why does Bill Clinton get to be Bill Clinton? But the Republicans are the ones who have to fall from grace. Like, Bill Clinton did what most people know about Bill Clinton has very little to do with policy. When the Republicans are constantly put way up high on a pedestal, when they stumble, they fall off the pedestal and they're unelectable because they're trying to meet a set of standards that the Democrats have successfully branded against them that are unachievable. Donald Trump is the antithesis of this, high and mighty, lives this perfect, 2.5 children, golden retriever, white picket fence kind of Sunday church-going life that all Republicans do. And it's not enough that all Republicans do it. The point that the Democrats needed everybody to understand is that Republicans are not satisfied until you do it too. They made it so that that's the perception that people had of Republicans. Donald Trump is none of that. Donald Trump is like, I have excessive wealth, and just so that you're aware of it, I'm going to make everything gold. And I'm going to put my name on it. If the gold wasn't your tell, how about this? Trump. Oh, and if that's not enough, I'm going to speak in the third person, and I'm going to refer to myself as Trump while I'm talking about it, as if I'm some sort of entity to be addressed in such a way. And it's really hard to look at Donald Trump and be like, he's this, kind of righteous individual who's trying to put upon your life about how you live yours. It's just not, there's no connection there. Donald Trump turns it around, spins it around, and shows everybody who the Democrats really are, the hypocrites that the Democrat Party, I should say, has been all of this time. He's exposing them one after the other, i.e. the debate, I think it was in St. Louis with Hillary Clinton, where she was talking about how, Trump wants to give all these tax benefits to his billionaire friends. And Trump's like, you take those benefits. Your friends and your donors take those benefits. The difference is that I know where they are and I know how to stop them. You rely on them so that you can fund your campaign. He called her out right there. He didn't deny that he's going to take every tax advantage that he can. And he should if it's legal. He said everybody does it. He called him out. He called him out, put a spotlight on him, and did it with a smirk on his face. Democrats don't have any answer for it. I think that's why they're angry, because they've never actually had to really, in my lifetime, fight on policy and win. They've always had the media in tow in order to make sure that they could paint the other guy as the bad guy so that they comparatively looked electable. And it just doesn't work any longer. Let us know in the YouTube live chat poll. Do you feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? Yes, and I support him. Yes, I don't support him. Or no. YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey. And you can text us at 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Back in a minute. HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com, 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900. Home Shield Foundation Repair is owned by Matt Hayes. Matt Hayes is a local guy, and this is a family-owned business. He's got a lot riding on it as he has poured himself into it, hired an incredible team with a lot of longevity, people who love to work at Home Shield Foundation Repair because it's easy. They know how to do it. They know how to do it right. They stand by their work, and the reputation speaks for itself. If you've got a basement waterproofing issue, you've got a phone number to call. 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. Home Shield Foundation Repair offers a whole bunch of foundation repair services, basement waterproofing being one of them. So if you've got some sort of leakage in your basement, you need to call Home Shield Foundation Repair and have them come take a look. 314-271-9900, online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Hi, Sandy. What's that? I'm reading up on this Amendment 4 on the August ballot. What's 4? Amendment 4 absurdly creates a new un-American minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that we citizens put on the ballot. Don't they say it'll protect conservative ideas? Truth gets in the way of their story. Amendment 4 would mean as few as 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one congressional district could veto any good conservative idea or reform, even when a big majority supports it. That does sound un-American. How did that get on the ballot? The politicians put it there, and it would empower a small minority of liberals. They could stop funding for police, stop tax cuts, or any other common sense conservative policy we support. Only 5%? One district? That would make it nearly impossible to pass needed reforms or rein in politicians. Yep, Amendment 4 is a misguided power grab by politicians. I'm voting no on Amendment 4. Right. I'm not giving up my constitutional rights. It's a hard no on 4.
Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Does this song air in your head in the morning when you're getting up, ready to work to come in and do the Annie Frey Show?
Yeah, I wake up to this song, and I also go clubbing to this song, and I mosh to this song.
I don't think that you can do all those things to this song.
I do it in one day.
It's the happiest mosh you've ever seen.
By yourself?
I get all dressed up in goth clothes.
Gosh, this is definitely a montage that I feel like Paul Rudd would be involved in.
He's doing the this thing.
Yeah, the Carlton kind
snap.
of.
Yeah.
The Paul Rudd Carlton.
Yep.
Man. So I mentioned the other day, was it yesterday? I mentioned, when did we talk about finding stinky things in your car that your kids leave behind?
A couple days ago.
Was that this week?
Yeah, I think
Maybe it was
so.
last week. Monday, I went home. So something is in my car.
Is it still right now?
Well, here's the thing. There was an issue, and I cleaned my car more than I've cleaned my car maybe since I've owned it.
Okay.
I pulled in my driveway Monday after work. I opened the hatch on the van, opened the sliding doors, opened the front door, passenger door, opened them all up, and just started pulling things out. It's a Pacifica. We've got some stow and go action. Love it. Turns out, after I ripped everything out of there, my daughter had a coffee back there, which was more of a latte, this past weekend, I think Saturday. And there's this big cup of coffee, and I don't think she ended up drinking any of it. Well, it kind of sloshed all around. We left in a hurry we were in Godfrey to golf, and then we went to Union, Missouri for Charlie's baseball game. And I remembered that while we were driving, I heard some sloshing. And I turned around, and her cup is in the cup holder, and it just kind of sloshed around. It got all over the leather seats and stuff. So we wiped that off. But it turns out I think it went down in between the seats and down into the stow and go. And so I think I had sour milk.
Yeah, you have to just let it go.
Let it go, the car?
No, the car, yeah. It's done.
It's like, it's not plan A, but it's definitely plan D maybe at this point. I ripped everything out of my car. I vacuumed my car, pulled everything out of stow and go, and I opened it up and I saw down there, and as soon as I put my head, I was like, whoa! But the good news is that when you're trying to find, you just assume, I mean, this is something my kid left in the car, but really, it wasn't like she left a hot dog in the stow and go or a baby bottle or something like that. You laugh like that's not possible. That hot dog you'd be eating there, Ryan. Little ketchup on it.
Still good.
Oh, man, it was so foul. So we ripped everything out, vacuumed everything. I Lysoled all of the plastic or whatever it is, the vinyl in the car. And we got some carpet cleaner that we had in the house, dumped it in there, scrubbed it out. And when I got in the car yesterday, I could still smell it. And I was ticked.
Oh, I bet. I've been in that situation. And it makes you mad because you think, I did everything I should do. Why aren't you doing your part, stupid smell?
I want your recommendations on good car cleaning stuff. I had one listener sent me a car air freshener that you put under your seat, and highly recommended. But if you've got thoughts, if you've got tricks, or if you've got a place where if I can't get it done, then I'll go drop a whatever couple $100 to get this thing clean. I mean, I've done so much work on the air quotes detailing of the car. Right now, it looks fantastic. It does not smell fantastic. So I would love your suggestions. You can follow us on our Facebook page. DM me there is probably the best way to get a hold of me.
This is just a concept. I'm not even sure that this works, but
I'm open to everything because Plan D right now, that's my fourth option, is put it in the river. Just feed it to the fishes.
Yeah. You know how light drives out darkness?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm coming from here.
Yeah. Take it to the sun?
What if no?
Oh.
No. That's ridiculous.
Exorcism?
No.
Oh. That might be Plan C. Exorcism, then river.
What if
Yeah.
you overwhelm the bad smell with fantastic smells?
Oh my gosh, that's like going in a gas station bathroom that's been destroyed, and they're like, I sprayed some Lysol.
No, but that's weak. That's like lighting up a candle in the midst of a cave.
I don't need.
It's not doing much.
That's like I don't need lavender scented poop.
That's not what we're looking for here.
That's all I can think of. I don't need cotton linen scented sour milk. I need the sour milk gone, dead, lost, bye.
I think that you set up not quite a seance, but that level of candle in your car.
Fire.
Leave it overnight.
Like you light a match.
No,
Have I tried to light a match?
This is
I haven't.
Like Scentsy. Like you're just leaving that running.
No.
The whole night.
I am so opposed to masking bad smells. You got to get to the root of the problem and get it gone.
I don't know that this is a mask. I'm using biblical concepts here.
You are not.
I am. Light driving out darkness, John 1.
Yeah, I went to exorcism and you said no. How about Scentsy? That's not biblical.
Says you. And you just gave me a podcast title.
It's like you got to make grocery turns while you're driving the car so the wax melt doesn't spill in the back seat.
Well, that's why you do it overnight. That's why it's going to look. I said he's going to look like a seance, but it's not. We don't do that. It's biblical. not calling up the spirits.
I said I needed suggestions. I will set a bare minimum. Need to be better than Ryan's. To the Annie Frey Show Facebook page.
At least make mine Plan E after the river.
Text. Okay. Sensi Seance, Plan E. We'll make it Plan S, just so that I remember which one it is. I guess you could text us your suggestions.
Yeah.
Or the worst thing you ever found that your kids left behind, or maybe you left behind in your car. 314-241-9797. When we come back, Harris Faulkner will be with us. I'm looking forward to a conversation with her. As always, of course, you know her from Outnumbered and the anchor and host of the Faulkner Focus. She's with us next. Don't go away. The Retirement Advisory Group. You find them online at retirementkey.com, 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. The Retirement Advisory Group, they're your kind of like your travel agents into retirement. Boy, it sounds nice. I'm not anywhere close to that, but you might be. If you're in your late 50s, in your 60s, and you're starting to think about, dreaming about reclaiming your time, of course, on your dime. You've worked hard for it. You've saved. And now you need to know, did I do enough? Do I need a little bit more time working? Maybe you love your job and you don't want to quit, but you want to know, I could quit if I wanted to. I totally understand that. 314-993-9494. Establish a personalized structured income plan with the experts at the Retirement Advisory Group. Talk to Bob and Tammy Kershaw about how to make it a reality that you can rely on with confidence. 314-993-9494. retirementkey.com.
Is it time to upgrade that backyard so you can enjoy it for the rest of this summer? Call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Mark Cox here. I'm telling you, they have a mission to be the very best when it comes to customer service and quality craftsmanship. They've been around since 1968. That tells you something. The same families owned this business all those years. Of course, they offer fences and decks, but they also do much more. Sunrooms, screen rooms, patios. They can do retaining walls. You mention it, and they can take care of what's going on in your backyard. Their project consultants will come out. They'll do free in-home estimates, no obligation at all, free project design. They've also got a great digital photo gallery of completed projects so you can look at what other people are doing and maybe get some inspiration. How about that? Reach out to them today. Mention my name. They're going to give you 20% off your next outdoor project. Check them out at chesterfieldfence.com.
We've been asking you today, do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? Not him as president, just the news cycle. Is it too much for you? Do you ever check out a little bit? The answer is you can give yes, I support him, yes, and I don't support him, or no, you're okay with it. Let us know, and we will give you the results at the end of the show. It is 1:31. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. Happy birthday, America.
So did you watch sit by your television and watch the results come in for the election last night and fret over the fact that the socialists were taking on?
Yeah, I was telling my kids, watch out for the socialists.
Watch out for the socialists.
They're around every nook and cranny around every corner.
Yeah, I am not surprised at all that is what amounted out of those primaries last night. I kept getting notifications from different elections that were taking place, and I didn't really know a lot of the names. I very much so would like to see an actual policy-based argument against socialism in America. It's way too mainstream. It's trendy. It's casual. At the same time that it's been trendy and casual, it's also been made to make people look at America as the experiment against socialism. And I think younger people are like, I think America's pretty great. But it's men. It's not female. It's not women.
The trouble is that debate does exist. The debate between capitalism, socialism, communism is out there. It's been written about a billion times. There's videos about it. Well, it can be, but my point is that it's out there enough that if you actually sought the answers to those questions, you could easily find them. I think we're to a point now where the people who believe these things, who don't want to engage in debate, they just don't. They have no desire for truth.
Have you seen how charming Mom Donnie's smile is, though?
Absolutely. And I think you just proved my point. They don't care about the substance of it. It's a feeling. It's almost a religion. It's almost like a spiritual belief to the point where it's like, no, this can't be false. Otherwise, I'm destroyed.
Scott Jennings reacted last night as the results were coming in here to, is this volume turned up here? Do you have the?
Yeah, it should be on.
No, not working. Just having a lot of technical difficulties today. I don't feel very confidently that young people are being made the case politically. I feel like it's more the easy thing to do, the trendy thing to do is for young kids to fall by the way of socialism. And there's something about this that I think is an important part of the discussion that is hard to talk about because there's not a huge political advantage to it. And that is young people who feel like the cost of living is too high consider a lot of things that when even we were young people 20 years ago, would you say? 20, 25 years ago?
Say 5 or 6.
There are a lot of things that young people are coming of age. They feel like everything is really expensive, and they don't have the same understanding at this point of our existence of the difference between a want and a need. And if you want to buy your $6, $10 coffee every day, and you feel like you really need it, the truth of the matter is you don't really need it. You're going to have to work your tail off and to make sure that you can have it if you want it. But your expensive coffee every day does not get factored in to the same level of necessity that rent gets factored in. You can pay for a coffee pot for your apartment that might be super tiny, that you're investing in while you're trying to make it so that your want of an expensive coffee every day becomes possible because you've worked your tail off. I think that while we see young people really globbing on to the idea of socialism, the provision that comes from a government that, what's government there for anyway? To provide for its people. I don't know that the younger generation really truly understands the difference between wants and needs the way we maybe did 20 years ago, certainly 40 years ago. And honestly, the reason is because capitalism has been so incredible for this country. Let's get to our guest. Excited to welcome Harris Faulkner back on the show with us. Author, of course, of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Faith Still Moves Mountains, which you can get today in paperback. Very exciting. Harris Faulkner, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Annie. I am thrilled for the portability and the affordability of a paperback about faith.
Yes.
Because, when I go to the beach on the Jersey Shore, because I live in Jersey, I always see people reading romances and stuff. And I like a Hallmark story, too, if it's that wholesome. I don't know what they're reading. But I say, well, why don't you take a book about faith? And I owe such a debt of gratitude and just want to thank all of your listeners, because you and I discussed Faith Still Moves Mountains when it first came out in hardcover, and people picked it up and they started to form their own testimonies, because that's what the book is. It's everybody talking about that spot that they're in, that they need to know what is next. What is God's assignment? What's God's mission for me? I've just been given a diagnosis and a whole host of things. Faith, spirituality, the Lord meeting us right where we are. And I talked with more than a dozen people, and that testimony is powerful. Yeah. And I know that it works because I've heard from hundreds of thousands of listeners across the country. And I feel so blessed to be part of their faith walk and that they pick this book up. And so whether it's someone in need today or someone in their life that they're like, how do I get that conversation about faith started? They're teenagers who miraculously make it out of a situation because they find prayer in the middle of the ocean. That's how the book starts.
Yes.
And I really, really want people to dig in. This is the time. We are being pressed against. And I was just hearing what you were saying about socialism, so I'm going to take it there with you.
Sure.
Yeah. Socialists want us to think that the government is our God. And they want us to depend in a whole different level on the federal government so that they can bring cash from high taxes and subsidies and all these things into our lives to control us. And so we don't reach for anything outside of what they can hand us. That's not the Lord's vision for our life.
Yeah.
There can only be one God.
So true.
And it is Him. And for the first time in the open era, and this is because that's what we have record keeping on, so we don't know what it was like in the medieval ages when Christianity was, walking across the earth and people were, formally finding out about it. But right now, Christians outnumber every other faith on the planet.
Really?
There's a reason for that, yeah. And Pew and Gallup have been studying this for a long time. So this is quite the historical moment for us. And where would we find a lot of pressure against faith around the globe? Against Christians. Because the bigger we become with our light, the world cannot, some of the world, cannot stand that. And so we see the persecutions and the executions of Christians. And, I've talked about this through my connection with Nicki Minaj and others at the United Nations. We've talked about Nigerians and other places where Christians are persecuted and executed. But in this country, there's something that is being executed, our religious freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot have anti-Semitism raging against us, because you know who will be next? It won't ever be good enough, because you have the sideline of socialism rising at the same time of anti-Semitism. That is not a coincidence. Divide us by race, divide us by religion, get us to walk away from everything we know is wholesome and good, and what do we have left? I won't bow down to them.
Yeah, amen.
I bow to the Lord. So I'm thrilled that faith still moves mountains. Matthew 17:20 is where I got the inspiration for this book. It talks about that mustard seed faith to help us each move a mountain in our lives. And if we are blessed with longevity, we'll have many to move. We'll have much testimony. We live that way. It's never going to be perfect, but we can be purposed. And we can be good shepherds of our blessings. So I'm thrilled that it's on paperback. You can mark it up with a highlighter. You can take it wherever you want to go. I want to send a shout out to Walmart and Sam's Club and others who are selling the book. A little discount on that. I want it to be portable and affordable.
Yeah.
And it is.
Amen to that. And, I think that mustard seed, I also think of how Scripture talks about the faith of a child. Like the strength of your faith is something that is given to you. It's not something you have to do. It's a blessing. And the power that exists there can get you through. You can do all things through that faith that restores you, that pushes you, that moves you, that moves others through you. And the thing that I like the most about Faith Still Moves Mountains is that I like that it's easy to pick up and commit to for a specific amount of time and then put down and then pick up again. The anecdotes that go through the entire book. It's incredibly readable. It's a great summer read, great hammock read on the back deck or whatever it might be.
I love hammock read. Now, see,
We're
you're
talking
putting
Midwest.
some deliciousness into my life.
Midwest, lemonade, hammock.
Yes, that's juicy.
Warm breeze. That's what we do here. I did want to also tie in with the socialistic direction, of course, with the elections in New York City. That's what a lot of people are talking about right now. But I really do believe that one of the greatest enemies of socialism is the strength of the family, specifically the American family. Because if you have a strong family around you, I mean, we have study after study after study about the success of children who have a two-parent home, specifically that have a father, a participating father. When you're able to work into the family, break the family down, separate the family, all of the things that you would normally rely on that core central family structure for, where do you go to? Well, you can go to the government for it. And I feel as though there's no necessity for that if we have a society, a culture, a community here in the United States of America that really prioritizes fathers, mothers, and that core unit of a family.
Look, there's that part of it, and it takes me, because I was listening to your show before you came to me. You said that, we're looking at people who are prioritizing their needs behind their wants. Mm-hmm. It can't be all about the flesh. And the thing about your family is you learn priorities because you're given responsibilities as a unit. And I grew up military, so I saw this perhaps in its most raw form. We had a mission every day as a family. We prayed together. We ate most of our meals together when, the kids are at school and my sister and I would come home. My mom wanted us to break bread together. And when my dad was away serving this country, we ate together all the time and talked about what was important. My mom and my dad shed the grace of their values on us. And that's incredibly important. And so those were the things that we needed. Our wants were secondary to that. Because we've been given so much, we were given the gift of life and the choice. I love how you put it, the choice to worship, the choice to believe. And so the family unit plays a very important part of that. Now, we all know that ours is not all-knowing or all-powerful as human beings. And sometimes we'll lose a dad or a mom. I've lost both my parents in just the last few years. But their values are instilled in me. And I depend on my aunts and uncles. My Uncle Tim, my dad's youngest brother, just left. He'd never been to New York City. We showed him everything. And he's a Texan, and the Knicks won. So he was like, well, I've never seen anything. So he was walking around with a parade hat. He was like, yeah, I guess I'll wear a Knicks hat. It was cute.
When in Rome.
He's my favorite septuagenarian.
That's incredible.
But what I learned is I keep the conversation going with family because I need to know who I am and whose I am. And with my parents gone, I'm blessed that I have that backup of other relatives. But family is very important. And if it can't always be both parents, let's make sure that there are backups in our constellation, in our special forces around the people we love and our children especially. So, that's part of my testimony.
People can read about it in your book, out in paperback now, Faith Still Moves Mountains. Before I let you go, real quickly, Harris Faulkner speaking with us. Do you feel a little bit of that, that warmth in the air right now in this country? America 250, the World Cup, and what the grace that the World Cup has put upon social media for me and my normal scroll has been entirely changed by people visiting here. There's an optimism, I think, that I'm consuming, that I hope that the country is consuming, that might put us in a place where maybe we do actually start thinking about why we were founded in the first place.
You know what I think is ironic? That it took FIFA and the World Cup and hundreds of thousands of people going to all these different sites. It's not just New York. There's 16 sites. So I might be wrong about that, but they're either 14 or 16. They're a lot. Kansas City is one of them. There are many. Boston, we know. It took those people coming in and expressing their love all over social media for America, for some people to wake up and say, this is a great country. I don't need an outsider to tell me that I live in a great house. So I am ready to celebrate America 250 and that one is 16 days, because it starts tonight with a rally with our president on this June 24th, 2026, and it goes all the way to July 9th. And then in August, there's some events too, like the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, August 22nd and 23rd. Look, this is important. And as a child in a military family with my father who served this great country, I just want to say that we all are great Americans. We all have the potential that others on the planet haven't been given because we are here. And that's why when people come to our country legally and want to be a part of what we are, it's a blessing. They make us better. We are a country of legal immigrants. But when our borders get broken down and they open it up and we're overridden by responsibility of taking care of their children, which, look, that is our responsibility when minors hit our shores or our borders. But to come into this country and to break our sovereign laws to begin with, that makes it more difficult. So we're in a spot right now where people from all over the country are here envisioning what it's like to be American. They're tasting our foods. I love it. Somebody asked me yesterday, what's a Blimpies? And I'm like, and I'm in New York City, so I'm seeing a lot of these people. And I went to a FIFA game last week. And I'm like, why do you ask me that? Well, you know, all these people online are saying we should go to these places. And I said, well, you might have to come to Jersey to see Blimpies. So when you go to MetLife Stadium, just stop off in Rutherford and you might find one over there. And, you know, I mean, they're trying Krispy Kreme here in New York City, and it's fun.
Yes.
It's just really fun to have those dynamics. So I'm ready to celebrate. And for those who say, oh, you don't need to go out and celebrate for that many days, at my age, girl, I am embracing longevity. I celebrate my birthday for weeks. Why shouldn't the country?
Amen. Yeah, like what's wrong with just being happy and joyful? Let's bring it back. I feel like the country is so poised for it. Harris Faulkner, thank you for your time this afternoon, and congratulations on the paperback release of Faith Still Moves Mountains. It's an incredible read. I've read it, and I hope our listeners will pick it up as well this summer for their hammock.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And go, America.
There you go. USA. Talk to you again soon.
All right.
Take
Much
care.
love. Bye.
Bye-bye. Harris Faulkner, author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Faith Still Moves Mountains, anchor and host of the Faulkner Focus, and Outnumbered on Fox News. You can follow her on X at Harris Faulkner. It's always nice. If you liked listening to her on the show, go on to X and give her a thank you for talking to the St. Louis audience. It's good to have her here with us. YouTube poll, do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey. We'll be right back.
Never miss a beat. Take 97.1 FM Talk with you. The voices you trust, Mark Cox, Annie Frey, Mark Reardon, Scott Jennings, and more are just a tap away with the Audacy app. Stream 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis conservative.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. I'm with Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage, and if you're thinking about refinancing, he has some great advice.
Mark, this is a great time to refinance. If you financed over the last 3 years, you're probably paying a higher rate. Take advantage now. Refinance with the Bagel loan. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, nothing. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. For those of you folks that are waiting on the sideline saying, hey, maybe the rates will go down more, I'm going to wait. Take advantage now. A bird in the hand's better than two in the bush. Refinance. Get the cash out you need. Get a lower rate. Maybe even go from a 30 to a 20 year and keep that payment the same. All with the Bagel loan.
And this is a quick process, right?
We close in 10 days. We send a notary out to your house to close so you don't have to take off any time from work. It's easy. It's simple. Bing, bam, boom. Your home is the biggest investment you're going to make in your life. Deal with somebody local, somebody who has a reputation, somebody who has accountability. I'm here in town. You can call me or text me after hours, weekends, whenever it's convenient for you.
Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the Bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
License number GL2500615. You're cooking dinner. The lights go out. You flip the breaker and forget about it.
But what if it keeps tripping?
Trips once, your breaker's doing its job. Keeps tripping? That's a warning. Bad wiring or something worse.
Do people just keep flipping it?
Most do, until they can't anymore.
Call Grasser. We'll stop the trip.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back. We just got done speaking with Harris Faulkner. That was great. I was thinking normally we would talk to DeRoy, and he had an appointment come up and had to cancel late this morning, so we had a 1 o'clock spot wide open. And 1:30 is usually when we do our last interview. Sometimes we'll do one at 2 o'clock, but I feel like when the guests are done for the show, you know how if you have a party, if you're hosting a party and you've got to get everything ready, you got to be prepared for the guests to come over. You know that feeling after they leave and you're like, okay, it's done and it was good. There's like a relief. That's what I feel like right now. Like,
is it because
I didn't screw it up?
It was a big guest with Harris Faulkner, or was it because she was the last guest of the day?
No, it's just, I have to prepare. I have to be on my toes. Harris Faulkner, especially, I really want to be on my toes for her. She is so sharp and she's so kind to us. So I don't want to embarrass the family. And so I have to be kind of ship shape. If I'm talking to Jim Talent, Jim Carafano, Fred Flights, any of these, General Kellogg, all of those people on foreign policy, I have to know I have to know enough about the topic to be able to ask smart questions. I don't have to be the expert on the topic, but I have to be able to bring them on. And the one thing that I hear a lot from listeners is that they appreciate that I ask questions and then I'm quiet. There's a lot of talk radio that is have a brilliant person on, and then I invite them to come essentially listen to what my thoughts are on the topic. That's bad. That's very bad radio. It's bad TV. I guarantee you someone's going to make a comment about a particular broadcaster now that doesn't let their guest speak. It never fails. But it's just I feel like now we get to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got? You got any fun?
Well, check out this crazy thing
that Ryan's about to make up on the spot.
That they're doing in Oregon.
I got it. No, I got something for you.
They legalized all drugs.
I want to talk about this when we come back, but I'm going to tell the story here real quick before we go. Because I wanted to tell the story yesterday during X's and Y's. We didn't have a chance. I was golfing this weekend. We're getting ready to golf. For whatever reason, the golf course was really backed up on carts. We had a 6-person, a 6-foursome scramble with the family. And I think everybody got carts just in time. Everything was fine. So there's not a problem. But when we got there, we had to wait for the carts, whatever. So one of the gentlemen who operates this golf course comes up, and my husband and I are standing next to each other. And we're not on the same team. We're not on the same foursome. And he pulls up, and we're waiting for our carts. And this older gentleman pulls right up next to us. He goes, this one steers a little bit harder. Probably better for a man to drive.
Oh.
And my husband just looks slow motion at me and looks at the cart. And he didn't say anything. And I just went, oh, okay. And then the guy drove away. The question I have for you to ponder on the break and come back and respond, and I'll reset the story a little bit when we return. Was he being kind or was he being sexist? When he said, this one's pretty tough to steer. It's a little harsh on the steering. Probably better for a man to drive this one. And then he just walked away. Was he trying to be kind or was he being sexist? You can text us your thoughts at 314-241-9797. I'll get the gentleman in the room's thoughts on what this man was trying to communicate to me and my husband while we were standing there next. Don't go away. Todd Sivia at SiviaLaw.com. 833-995-WILL. That's the number to call to schedule your first initial strategy session to get your estate plan up and running. The first 10 callers right now to this number are going to get that $300 fee for that initial strategy session. That fee is going to be waived. All you got to do is call this number, schedule the appointment, and tell them I sent you. Mention Annie at 833-995-WILL. 833-995-WILL. Now, you might need to have an estate plan established for the first time. That's what my husband and I did when we went to Sivia Law. Or you might have put one together 5 years ago, 10 years ago, decades ago, and you haven't looked at it since. And boy, where you had kids, now there are grandkids, and the estate has changed, and there's just a lot to take in. Reach out to Todd Sivia. You can trust him. Missouri and Illinois alike, 833-995-WILL. And mention Annie when you call and be one of the first 10 to schedule that appointment. Get that strategy session free. SiviaLaw.com.
When's the last time you gave your home's exterior a little love? Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design because they're experts in James Hardie siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Hey, St. Louis, need to sell your home fast? The Gelman team with eXp Realty can make you an instant cash offer in just 24 hours. No showings, no repairs, no waiting, no drama. Visit thegelmanteam.com to see what your home could sell for fast. Or give the Gelman team a call at 314-336-1991.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
On Capitol Hill, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
For the most part, we have a really well-unified party, and I said it very strongly. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
President Trump a short time ago alongside the Senate Majority Leader after a lunch meeting with Senate Republicans on a variety of topics, including Iran, a day after 4 GOP senators voted in favor of a war powers resolution, a rebuke of military action without congressional approval. The president pointing to U.S. oil prices falling below $71 a barrel.
And Iran is being very nice. They're agreeing to everything that I want. And they have to. Otherwise, we just go back and do what we have to do.
Before the meeting, the president was supposed to sign a bipartisan housing bill into law, but canceled that, posting that a voter ID bill has to pass first. Various versions of the Save America Act have already failed to advance in the Senate. The president has pushed to include other provisions not related to voting. Earlier today, a federal judge blocked a Trump executive order on election reform that included proof of citizenship to register to vote. New York sending a message to Washington with socialist candidates, ousting 2 House Democrats in yesterday's primaries.
The people that they're pushing are communists, and this country is not going to have communists.
The president says every election is important. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
There are many Mamdanis popping up all around the country. It is a dangerous thing. This is not a joke. We're in a fight right now to save the republic. And every American needs to take this seriously. You need to wake up.
Referring to New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani after he backed 3 winning candidates whose campaign calls included abolishing ICE and free Palestine. Mamdani says their focus is on American workers. The Texas summer camp where 27 young girls and counselors died in flooding last year files for bankruptcy. Camp Mystic had already delayed plans to reopen and faces lawsuits in addition to ongoing investigations. America is listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately. Broccoli, kale, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
I thought those were good for me.
What's healthy for one person may cause inflammation for another. So how do you know what your body actually needs? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Partly sunny skies today, 84 for the high. Maybe a shower or thunder shower here and there, but limited. Nothing more than a spot shower, but lots of clouds tonight, 67. Thursday night and Friday, changeable skies with periods of rain and thunderstorms, heavy downpours of rain at times. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Summer making a comeback by the end of the weekend. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American.
Noon hour with Tom Shillue. Always great to have him on the show. He was in studio with us one time. I think he spent like the whole hour with us when he was here the one time in studio. His schedule didn't allow for him to be in studio with us on Friday. A lot of times when the Funny Bone is bringing guests in to do a show or four, they will come visit us in studio, and he was on with us. He did Zoom with us though, so his video, it was a video call with us, and we talked a lot about Nate Bargatze and the UFC 250 participation that Bargatze had and how the left is trying to cancel him. I just hope, with all hope, that Nate Bargatze thinks this is funny and is just not going to. Don't acknowledge him. Don't say anything. Pretend as though it does not rise to your attention level, that it is beneath you, right?
Yeah,
there's no other way to do it.
Well, that's really always what he does anyway.
Yeah.
So it's par for the course.
No reason for him to veer off message at this point. So if you missed Tom Shillue, he'll be on the Annie Frey Show podcast, which you can listen to on the Audacy app, AUDACY. Download that. And Harris Faulkner in the 1 o'clock hour. When we went to a break here, I was telling a story about being at a golf course this weekend, and we were getting ready to tee off. It was we had 6 teams at this scramble that we were playing in for a family reunion, and they didn't have any carts. So my husband and I were standing next to each other. My husband teed off right before I did. He was the foursome that went before we did. And what I said before we went to the break is we're standing there. We're just waiting for a cart to be ready. And the gentleman who works at this golf course is an older gentleman, pulls a cart up to us, and he kind of wiggles the steering wheel. And what I said before the break was he pulled up and he goes, the steering's a little harsh on this one. It'd probably be better for a man to drive. My husband texted me and corrected me. That is not what he said to me. He said, my husband messaged me, he goes, I think it's important in the context of your story and discussion that my husband's recollection of the comment was, it would probably be better if a woman didn't drive it.
Okay.
Does that change the context of the story a little bit?
Yeah. A little bit.
A little bit.
Not a ton, but.
My question going to the break was this gentleman at this golf course being kind, or was he being sexist? Now, to go to the comment section here on the Annie Frey YouTube channel a little bit, just because there was one comment here that I really appreciated here, and it was from FR2U. He said, can it be both? I think, maybe it could be. Maybe it was a sexist comment that was meant in kindness, is what FR was saying. So what's your initial reaction to that?
Without knowing the full the guy or, anything more about
he was
the people.
hustling and working his tail off to try to get these carts off of the people who were coming off of the court. I mean, he was moving fast. He wasn't glad-handing, and he didn't just throw that in some sort of... He was working hard.
Okay. So in light of that, I would go so far as to say it's not only kind, it is chivalrous.
Mm-hmm.
That he was thinking that much of you to say, you know what, though? It'd probably be
You think it's
better.
because you think that he said probably be better if a woman didn't drive it was because he thought so much of me, not so little.
Correct. Yes.
At 12:45 on the podcast Wiggins America, where Ryan articulates how he thinks the best of people.
Yep. And I use body language to convey
sincerity
and truth.
Only facts and truth told.
Yeah. If you're watching the camera, this is really good content. If you're listening, it makes no sense.
FR also says one perception is outward and one perception is inward. What he meant may not be what you took in. I think that's a really important thing about context and intention. I always am trying to remind my children that you have to pay attention to people's intentions, because if you have a misunderstanding because somebody miscommunicated something, and you were to be able to have the luxury of being like, gosh, when you said that, this is what I heard or saw or felt. How often would someone be like, oh my gosh, no, that's not what I meant at all. Sometimes people say things and you're like, my feelings were really hurt. And they're like, yeah, because you're sure, or something like maybe they meant to be offensive about it. What do you think, Brad? Was he being sexist or was he being kind?
I mean, my default setting is I think he was trying to be kind. He said it was, how did he describe the steering again? Was it
harsh?
Harsh, yeah.
I think the word was harsh. And then he said it would probably be better if a woman didn't drive it, which my husband also said, which is why I laughed so hard as he walked away.
Well, like, my thing is this. As a guy, you look at that and it's like, man, that would be super annoying to drive a janky golf cart around the whole course all day and you want to have fun. It would be better if a woman didn't drive it, if a guy took care of it, and the guy...
Because she's weak.
No, not because she's weak. Because we care about you and we don't want you to be annoyed driving the stupid golf cart that isn't working correctly. It's better for the guy to be annoyed by it. We as men would rather us be annoyed than you be annoyed because we value women. So if you look...
I love that you didn't turn your microphone on to say that.
Yeah. He said...
We value power, too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want my wife to push a shopping cart if we were shopping together that was like super annoying with the wobbly wheels. Like, I'll take care of that. I'll push it. It's no big deal. It's not saying that she can't. It would just be annoying and frustrating, and I would rather her be in a good mood and not have to deal with an annoyance, and myself deal with the annoyance for her in her place.
So you think that's what that guy was saying?
Hard to say without the tone.
There was not a lot of concern.
There wasn't a lot of concern. It was more just...
I think...
you're weak.
I'm going to be honest and say my interpretation, my real, like, if I take myself out, like, this guy didn't ruin my day.
Yeah.
I think it was a very sexist comment that he never even considered would be heard as sexist. I don't think that somebody who was 40 would ever say something like that. I think it's funny that he thought it and then just was super comfortable with my husband and me standing there being like, you shouldn't drive it. You can drive it. You? I don't know.
Question.
Answer.
Is your husband stronger than you?
Yes.
So the assessment was correct.
He's just
on spot.
Burly.
So
the
guy was right. The cart attendant was ultimately correct.
No. Because just because my husband is relatively stronger than I am doesn't mean I'm too weak to drive said cart.
But he would have an easier time.
No, not necessarily.
If it was a difficult cart to drive.
If it's a difficult cart to drive, I mean, it's not like my husband took that cart and was pushing it come hole 7.
Just needed a little grease on the axles.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying words that you've heard men say.
Just open up the hood on that thing.
You're talking in context of what you've heard Brad talk about.
Well, I was a cart boy, though. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, man.
I know. Not a cart man. Just the emphasis on boy.
If you stop by
can you imagine pulling a cart up to a couple and being like, this one's kind of difficult. Better let the man drive it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that? No.
Well, now that you've said it, I think you've kind of opened up the can of worms, and now people are going to say it all the time. And also,
not at country clubs, and this was not a country club.
So if you're out there today, maybe you're going to have a round at Gateway National, or it's
you're going to have the Walmart greeter standing there and like picking and choosing which carts women should be allowed to push.
I think that we'd be back to a better time.
I think you would enjoy this cart more.
Yeah, based on the way I perceive your physicality. Lady. I
will say this too. I do think it was a very sexist remark. I don't think I actually am. I mean, that one was kind of in a personal context. I don't know that he ever looked up and like looked at me and looked at my husband and was like, don't let her do it. I don't think it was personal at all. I think that this is just the framework that this gentleman works in. But I am actually a little heartened by a generation that gives zero fudge brownies about something like that. Like, it's a little refreshing to know that he's like, don't let the ladies do this. They'll probably drive it onto the to the road or something. Here's a cart for you guys. Women are bad drivers. Might want to let the guy drive this one here.
Excuse me, ma'am. Just letting you know before you get started here, there's a special cart road that
smaller.
you are supposed to drive on. These carts are smaller. You'll notice which one is which. Also today, 90-degree rule. And you know what that means? Math, I know. It means you...
I'll show you here. It looks like this.
Take a sharp right to go to your ball, or left, depending on which direction you hit it.
Go on. You got more.
And get directly to the ball, and then go directly back to Tiny Road, a.k.a. Cart Path, ma'am.
It's missed to you, sir.
That is the way that should play out. Now, if you believe that he would have said the same thing to a walking by, fully flexed Gina Carano in UFC days.
Oh, 100%.
He would have said the same thing to her?
Yes.
So then it was sexist.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, like, I won't even ask you to comment on this, but I'll speak of myself. I'm not a petite woman. I am 5'8", and I'm strong, and I am athletically built. And so it's not like I'm this little dainty flower. As much as I would love to just look frail and weak, I am, in fact, neither of those things. I'm strong in will and flex. So it's not, it's, you know, if it were my daughter who golfed in this scramble, she's 13, sorry, Jensen. She's not supposed to be driving the cart anyway. I don't think she did. So I don't know. Again, my takeaway, my way of looking upon this with a little bit of light and levity is I kind of like that he said whatever he was thinking. And I mean, it wasn't like he looked at me and saw my husband looking at me like, she's going to kill him. And that didn't happen, of course. And he was laughing because there was nothing left to be said. There was no correct. See, that's the thing, too. I didn't need to correct him. I didn't need to be like, listen here, sir. I'll have you know I could drive that cart. Like, what a weird argument. I also don't want to drive the cart. I want other people to drive me in the cart, like a true lady.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
You just said something so sexist.
What?
That you don't want to drive the cart because you're a lady. That's exactly what you said.
I don't know that that's exactly what I said, but also, yeah.
If you had driven up.
I want to be driven around.
And he said
and
to
doted
you,
upon.
He just kind of like scoffed and he said, we'll let the men handle this. Then sexist?
Yes. But I don't think, like, listen, I would say that I incur sexism with some regularity. It just exists. I bet you probably think that you incur sexism from time to time, that you think that you're discriminated against because you're a man. I think that happens both ways. The question is, like, what do you do next? I think it's okay to be like, I think that was kind of a sexist remark. And then you go tee off. And then you just like go about your day and complain about it on your radio show on Wednesday.
I slowly peel off my glove and I say fresh. And then I slap the guy with it.
Fresh?
Uh-huh.
Like a Frenchman? Super masculine.
Indeed. A Frenchman. Not woman.
Yeah. Everybody, well, anyway, I'm not going to make fun of all the French. There's no
Go
reason.
ahead.
The French didn't do anything to me. Now it's just about to get, you want to talk about being sexist, and then all of a sudden I'm like, and another thing about France. Let's get Ethan in here. Sports and Local next. Point Pest Control, point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com. reach out to Point Pest Control and ask them about their Premier Service Plan. These are quarterly treatments that they'll provide you in your home, outside of your home, treatments that are safe for everybody you want living in your home, but nothing that you don't want to be living in your home. 636-798-0023 is the number. Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com. If you're dealing with ants, spiders, crickets, crickets in your basement can be so annoying when they just won't, they chirp and then you walk towards them and then you try to find them, but they stop chirping and you're like, fine, forget it. I'll go sit back down. You sit on the couch and it goes chirp, chirp. And you just want to cuss at that thing, but you can't find it and that's a problem. Point Pest Control will find that for you and they'll get rid of your crickets. That's never happened to me. That was just an anecdote that maybe occurred to somebody somewhere, annoying crickets. 636-798-0023. I am whatever the opposite of partial to spiders is, terrified of. We got rid of our spider problem with Point Pest Control, and I am encouraging you to give them the opportunity to get rid of your pest problem in your house as well. 636-798-0023. Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
$538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Every child deserves the chance to learn, grow, and dream. But for many students, barriers like hunger, lack of resources, and limited opportunities can stand in the way. The Little Bit Foundation helps to break down barriers to learning for under-resourced students through programs and partnerships that support the whole child. From basic needs and health services to educational enrichment and career exploration, it helps students thrive in school and beyond. Visit thelittlebitfoundation.org to find out how you can support their mission. This message brought to you by Together Credit Union.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative. This segment of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by All Financial.
Hold up. Check it out.
Ethan's Saucy Soiree.
Saucy.
That's an old one.
That is, I think, maybe one of the first ones.
I agree. Sports and local, Ethan.
Sports and local. Busy couple of days in St. Louis sports. The most recent news is a leadership change within the St. Louis Cardinals organization. Yesterday, the Cardinals announced that there would be a press conference taking place this afternoon, basically just saying there was going to be involving organizational leadership change. And this afternoon, it got announced that that team president Bill DeWitt III would be getting elevated to CEO, which would allow for his father, Bill DeWitt Jr., to step back from the role. So Bill DeWitt Jr. is still technically considered the chairman, but DeWitt III is going to get an even more increased role. On top of that, Anouk Karunaratne has been elevated to president of business operations, assuming leadership of all business matters and off-field initiatives for the organization, and will be reporting to Bill DeWitt III. So these two moves aren't massive in the sense of they're huge changes for what these two guys were doing. It's more so just putting the title to what has been going on, I would say probably over the recent couple of months, probably as far as leadership goes. Bill DeWitt Jr. is still going to be involved in a lot of the big decisions, but Bill DeWitt III is going to certainly be taking an increased role. The DeWitts have owned the Cardinals since 1996, and there is no intention of them selling at any point. They made that very clear during this past offseason.
I heard a lot of talk I don't know if it was really last year, but it started about 2 years ago about the team going to Nashville.
The Cardinals?
Just people talking.
Oh.
People, I think people were so disgusted with what was the baseball that was being played that there were a lot of people who thought this team's going to go to Nashville.
That would be quite the surprise,
Wild.
and I do not see that happening, as the DeWitts have expressed their love for the city and being the Cardinals being a obviously massive part of the heartbeat of St. Louis. So big change within the organization, but also at the same time, names just getting elevated is really what this is. The Cardinals, speaking of, lost last night against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 4-3 was the final score. Going into the ninth inning, the score was actually 0-0. And the Cardinals weren't able to use some of their big-name relievers because they had all pitched already in back-to-back nights. Had to go to some of their lower-leverage guys. Ended up giving 4 runs up in the ninth. Scored 3 in the bottom of the ninth, but just came up short. So the Cardinals, now 42-35, are tied for the first wild card spot still with the Philadelphia Phillies. Matthew Liberatore will go for the Redbirds tonight. In the third game of this 4-game series.
I was at that game last night. We left in the 8th inning. We saw 0 runs.
Another example of you got to watch the whole game to know
Coincidence?
the story of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Coincidence?
What? He's not there and we score runs. Should have left earlier.
No, I don't think it had a lot to do with us, is kind of what I was saying.
Okay.
I was just saying we didn't see a lot of action.
It's because you didn't stay.
That's true. That's true.
The St. Louis Blues made a very big move in their organization yesterday, trading forward Jordan Kyrou to the Washington Capitals in exchange for a first-round pick and 2 forwards. The first forward, Connor McMichael, has played in the NHL the past couple of years and was very productive last year with the Caps, and is going to fit into the middle six somewhere. He'll be a second or third line piece for the Blues. Also got a second-round pick from last year's draft in Milton Gastrin. And with that first-round pick, the Blues now have 4 first-round picks in Friday night's NHL draft. So a lot of people are not expecting them to make all 4 of those selections. The belief is that the Blues will either compile a couple, 2 or 3 of these picks together to try and move up and get the first, second, third pick in the draft, or we see them trade for a player that is going to be ready to compete and really add to this team for this upcoming season. So either could certainly happen. It sounds like they may lean towards the latter, where they're trying to trade for a guy that you could argue is a star in this league. So could be a very interesting couple of days for the St. Louis Blues. Jordan Kyrou certainly had a lot of success during his time with the Blues, scored 168 goals and 210 assists in nearly 500 games over parts of 9 seasons in St. Louis. Had 3 different 30-goal seasons with St. Louis as well. And yeah, so definitely a big change for the Blues, and we'll have to see what exactly happens next for them following this big trade. Keep your eyes out for upcoming trades to be made.
Best signing of the DeWitt era?
Oh,
it's a big question, but I'm going to throw a name out there. I want to see what you think about it.
Here comes a joke.
Oh God, he couldn't even keep it together.
Bernard Gilkey.
Okay. It's just because Bernard Gilkey is a funny name. Okay.
Is that it?
Look at how happy he is.
Was he
Look
even
at how
on the
genuinely tickled. He's going to start crying because he's so amused by not anything but
Dude.
the name Bernard Gilkey. He can't even keep it
What is
together.
wrong with you?
Look at him. He looks like
What
an
is-
over-sugared toddler.
What is so funny about this?
Get it together.
This is pathetic. I'm embarrassed.
He's not. He's going to try to do it again. He's thinking about another name, but he can't think of one more funny than Bernard Gilkey.
He was actually a good player, too.
Look at him. Everybody look at him. He's so happy. Get
Guys
it
can't even
together,
talk.
dude.
He can't even talk.
Ethan?
What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
You want me to try and
save the segment? Do
tell
one more
a serious story and talk about
Yeah, tell a serious story and
budget
see what kind of.
finalization in St. Louis?
Gee whiz, you guys.
That sounds really boring.
He was really good. He was a
Yeah, tell us. Sing the praises. That's why the listeners are here. They're like, you stupid poll about talking about Trump too much. You know what people don't talk anymore about? Bernard
He was
Gilkey.
a piece of some pretty good teams.
Our task every day
I'm
is to
trying
talk
to-
about something on this show that you'll go tell your friends you heard about on the Annie Frey Show. And today that story is Bernard Gilkey.
Just trying to talk a little Gilkey with you guys. And you guys
That
won't
sounds
do
like
it.
code.
Oh, God.
Do you need me to leave the room?
No. Trying to talk some b-ball. And that's base in this in this example.
Ryan, what's your favorite thing about Bernard Gilkey?
Oh, boy.
97, 96.
What position do you think he played the best? Baseball.
You guys are
Where did-
making
where
a
did-
mockery out of Gilkey.
No, I'm trying to make a mockery out of you, and he's kind of collateral damage
mission
here.
accomplished.
I'll tell you one thing for sure. Those
You're gonna read the
alumni
first thing
nights
on Google.
Those alumni nights, I would be buying every single $150 ticket for charity if I could get a Gilkey autograph on my chest that I could tattoo.
I need to talk to St. Louis real quick.
Okay.
Pretty sure I have his autograph.
Hey, St. Louis, please don't tell Bernard Gilkey.
This is pathetic.
Please, if anything, just say you heard it on KMOX.
No. We need him on the show maybe by the end of the day. Tell him. If you know Bernard Gilkey, are you freaking kidding me?
There's nothing
Text
wrong
him.
with the man.
Text
You just
Bernard.
think his name's funny.
No, I think he's a great player.
The funny part is there's certainly people in the building that know Bernard Gilkey and could
Exactly. That's what I'm
communicate
saying.
with him right now.
If
No.
you're in the bathroom and you're
No.
Tom Ackerman and you're listening by accident,
What if you're Tom Ackerman and you're not in the bathroom?
well,
That doesn't mean anything to anybody.
You're driving home in the
That's
hallway.
such a weird thing to say to the public.
Specifically in the bathroom.
And now you've offended Tom Ackerman.
because
Who
our-
else do you want to tee off
because
on
our
here?
station sometimes plays, in the bathrooms here.
No, nobody knows
But
that.
I'm explaining that,
Ow.
and I want to talk to the Gilk. So somebody chime in, please. Come on, you guys. We're all media.
Ethan,
We're professionals. We wanted to see what you're doing lately.
what are you talking about?
You, Bernard. I'm talking to him.
My gosh.
Directly.
Yeah, this is just a personal line between you and Mr. Gilkey.
Golly, you guys. I'm just trying to do some b-ball talk here.
Outside of the school?
Any hot talk?
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I got something else.
Like literally anything?
I have something else. A little more Blues news. The Blues former forward Keith Tkachuk will be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame as part of the 2026 class. Tkachuk spent
Anything you want to say about Keith Tkachuk, Ryan Wiggins?
What do you got?
Yeah, but it's a little bit made for private discussion more than broadcast. But I will say it anyway. I was flipping through my numbers earlier this hour. No kidding.
Like your flashcards?
I mean, he was just studying the.
He carries an actual
Your phone
Rolodex.
numbers.
Just study. I was typing in a name or a number or something, and I hit the wrong button, and Keith Tkachuk's number came up, and I said, "Why do I even have
Call
this?"
Keith Tkachuk and ask him if he knows Bernard Gilkey.
That's what we need because while I
Just
would
send him a
love
text
to
that says,
have Keith
"Hey, bro."
Tkachuk on the show, that's not what we've been talking about. And we need to be disciplined, and we need to get Keith Kachuk on the phone and ask him if he knows Bernard Gilkey.
I'm so terrified that these people are going to hear this conversation.
Somebody send the podcast to both
No.
all the Kachucks.
I have too much respect.
What's this podcast episode title going to be?
Gilkey
Kachuk mashup.
No, Gilkey Pleasures.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal.
Whoever gave Ryan Wiggins the keys to my show podcast. It's my name on this podcast, and they're like, I got a good idea. Let's let Ryan control it. So when you subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast on the Audacy app or wherever you get your podcast from, you get to watch what Ryan Wiggins really thinks in the titles, whether you listen or not. Ryan has the keys to the kingdom there.
Yep, and you can just read them if you want to know what they're sort of about.
It's literally the words that were uttered in an entire hour that Ryan thought were the funniest.
That's true.
Gilkey Pleasures.
I have actually, and I kid you not, been repudiated by the powers that be here for doing the podcast that way.
Yes, you have.
They have said you need to put real things in the titles and not just stuff that you found humorous.
How are we still here?
Oh, we're still on?
How are we here? Maybe not. Maybe they're just letting us play.
I don't know.
Like a program for people who need an outlet. Oh, man. The Audacy app, if you want to read Ryan's podcast titles or listen to the podcast. We had Harris Faulkner on and Tom Shillue today. You can go to the podcast and listen to those. The full show, you can check out anything you missed if you so choose. You can also vote on the YouTube live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. I talk a lot about the waterproofing that you might need in your basement, and pushing that off makes the project more expensive. What you can do right now is call Home Shield Foundation Repair. Talk to Matt Hayes, the owner, local guy, great team behind him. Home Shield Foundation Repair is a destination for people to work. The people who work there love it. They do fantastic work. They're very proud of it. But if you have a basement water issue, you can call Home Shield Foundation Repair and have them come out and give you a free estimate on what you might need to have done, and maybe find out what you don't need to have done. 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900. When you're looking at the forecast and you see rain in the forecast, if you get that pit in your stomach because you know what that means, you're going to have to go handle the situation in the basement. It's a nightmare. Put that worry behind you and call Home Shield Foundation Repair and get the solution in front of you. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
It is not hard to destroy a college.
Last season, the podcast Campus Files brought you stories of fraternity drug rings, stolen body parts, campus cults, and more.
And now Campus Files is back for another season.
There's a guy screaming into his phone. He's like, I just saw Charlie Kirk get assassinated right in front of me.
Every week is a new episode and a new story.
It was so chaotic. It's almost like a university under siege.
Listen to and follow Campus Files, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
No paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
YouTube live chat poll. Do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? Yes, and I support him. Yes, and I don't support him. Or no. That is one question we have asked you.
Can you read the comment that John just put on the YouTube channel just about the last segment, Ethan Sports and Local? Just read that one
Yeah,
out loud.
It says Ryan's daily mission is to destroy Nathan's segment.
Yep.
He doesn't know his name. That's because in the
Ethan.
open, we don't use his name a lot. It'll be like all these random things. Saucy soiree. I guess it did say Ethan. But anyway, we're asking you the question about Donald Trump today. We're also asking you to consider whether or not you know any MLB players from the 90s. Like,
No, we're not. You don't need to text that.
if you do,
Please don't.
you can.
He'll read all of them.
314-241-9797. It is 2:38. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Real talk, today's issues. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's really hard for me to determine where to go next from here. We're still getting a lot of texts and messages here on my golf cart story. This past weekend, we went golfing. It was a family reunion. There were probably 25, 28 of us that were all there together because we had some people who were riding who weren't golfing. And when the older gentleman brought the cart up, my husband was teeing off before me, so my husband was waiting for a cart. I was driving my nephew in the cart, so I had to be the driver. And he pulled up and he said, "Oh, the steering on this is a little harsh. Probably better for a woman not to drive it." So I asked the question, was this older gentleman being kind or was he being sexist? And some of the comments that we've got have suggested he was probably being both. So if you want to weigh in on that as well, we'd love to. Jackie said he was absolutely being kind. And I think that it really is an example of how we do have a choice of our frame of mind. When you experience things like that with people, you really do have a choice to I'm going to put the best construction on this and think, he was looking out for me. We have a choice as to how we handle it. You could also be like, okay, that was kind of an interesting remark, and then choose to just go about your day. But we have lived in, how long would you put the time frame on it? Where outrage culture is kind of the name of the game. If the fact that if his comment offended me, that now entitles me, maybe even compels me to do something about it.
15 years.
That's a long time to be compulsory offended. That's a really long time. It's not, I think that's one of the reasons why the World Cup videos of people just going around and enjoying so much of what the United States has to offer, and it's like the most basic things. I think that's why it's almost like a medicine, a prescription for a problem that we didn't know could actually have some sort of antidote. That you could inject some genuine, honest joy into our lives, and we go, gosh, this feels so good. I feel so much better. And then you kind of want some more. I tweet out most nights, it's like 12:30, and I'm like, okay, time for me to lay in bed and scroll for an hour and watch World Cup videos. And I don't know anything about the soccer. We had a poll on the show the Friday before the World Cup started, I guess it was.
Yeah,
and
it
we
was
were
that
asking
day.
you how you were feeling about it.
The game hadn't been played yet.
Yeah.
But we were saying,
That's
are you
right.
into this?
And it was, yes, super into it. No, not at all. Or I'm open to it. Maybe casually, I'm open to it. And I am so grateful that the United States of America is hosting the World Cup. We are so much better for it. I think this is going to make an impression on a generation of people that, if not for the World Cup, I think we've kind of made a turn in a road that's headed us in a different direction. This doesn't mean it couldn't turn back, but I think that we are, as a country, being put in a maybe even just slightly different direction than we were before it, which I think means that there's a historical importance to it. And that when we have lived in your time frame, suggesting that we've been in a 15-year window of just taking hit after hit after hit off of outrage culture. What are we outraged about today? It's so exhausting. It's so toxic. It permeates all the nooks and crannies of your life. When you're around people, I bet you if you think about it right now, if you think about the people who exist in your life, you can think of a few people, and it might not be the majority of people that you have in your life, your family members or your friends. Like, I can think of a few people who are joyful people. It is a gift and a blessing to be a default joyful person. Most people aren't. My 10-year-old daughter, I tell her all this all the time. You have a God-given joy. You enter into the situation with joy in your heart, and it just comes from her to the people who she's around. That is not my default mode. My husband is much more type B, relaxed, happy to be here kind of guy. And I've talked about how analytical I am, and I'm always looking to analyze and improve, and it's obnoxious to be around, and I understand that. But my 10-year-old daughter, it's just a gift of joy. And I'm always like, you keep a hold of that and don't let anyone take it from you, because it's what the world is trying to do. Steal your joy and repurpose it and repackage it so that you can be outraged all the time. If you're thinking right now about your circle of people that you know, can you think of that, Ryan? Like, you don't have to tell us who it is. I mean, you could, but do you have anyone? Who? Kevin, the guy who
shifts his
eyes. Won't look at you. He has too much joy. I can't look directly at Ryan. I mean,
my face is like Moses.
Do you know people like that? That's what I've thought this whole time. I'm glad you put a name to it. Can you think about anyone in your life that's like that? This just brings sunshine into it. One person who I can think of, and I'll just say it because the audience knows it, is our producer Katie when she was here. It's just like
my wife, I think, is like that too.
She is like that.
She's just a happy person for the most part. Well, she just likes, I don't know. She just sort of radiates that.
Isn't it unusual?
Yeah.
It's like so unique.
That's why I was like, don't leave. I'm going to marry you.
Yeah.
I need that.
It's just a unique characteristic to have.
Yeah.
You just said that about her. It's so true. But you said before the show started that your wife complimented you on the show, and you said that it was, quote, the nicest thing she's ever said to you.
Well, because...
So I think you're fishing for compliments. I think every day you need to compliment your wife in a new, unique way and just, see where it gets you.
She would love that.
She's going, Bernard Gilkey?
No. Oh, man. She would love that. And now I got to do that.
Yeah, she would. And you know what else you could do for her?
Buy flowers.
Yes. It's cheaper than jewelry.
I don't see flowers without thinking about you now.
No.
Because you always tell me to buy my wife flowers. And I'm like, gosh.
You don't get her flowers because you're worried I will get the credit for it.
Yes. Because if I get flowers, she's to be like, what did the show do today? That happens. What did she say? That's what she'll say.
Get her
So
flowers.
what did Annie say?
Get her flowers today.
I don't know that I'm going to be near flowers.
That's a choice, man.
You gotta go out of your way, man.
That's a choice.
I'm not going to go out of my way for flowers today.
No, you're not going out of your way for your flowers. You're going out of your way for your wife.
Yes. No, I'm not. I'm not doing anything for her.
There goes the compliment later on tonight.
She will say sometimes.
Mrs. Wiggins?
Yeah, if we're just sitting
Just
there,
text me.
she'll go,
tell me what you
say
want.
nice things to me.
Yes.
She'll just say that.
That's lovely.
And I'm like, oh,
Men
man.
are always like, I don't understand women. They don't tell me what you want.
And
And
then
then she's like, say nice things to me. And you're whining about it like a whiny person.
What am I whining like,
I
Annie?
can't say it on the air. My children are listening.
Like a what?
I'll tell you off air.
No, I want to know right now.
Just get her a nice
I want to
summery
know right now.
blend of flowers. Get the $6 bouquet at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
See, Brad? Do you hear Brad's? Mm-hmm. Did
Yep.
you hear the judgment in his affirmation of why you should get your wife flowers?
You know what I need?
It's the thought that counts, right?
I need help. I need help from all of you to get
you
flowers
want
for
our
me.
money and time.
Yep.
Nope, then
I
it's
want
not.
more than
then
anything.
those
I want your
flowers are
time.
from me.
Ryan, you make more money than I do.
I need all of you to help me get things for my wife.
Have you ever picked flowers out of somebody else's yard to give to your wife?
No.
Don't say no like that's not something you would do.
I've never
He's
done
like, I
that.
can't even use that idea now because then I'll think of Annie.
Gosh, that's terrible.
Here's what I can do. I can start hyping jewelry, and then you can do the flower thing, and and then it'll look like Annie was telling me to do jewelry, but I'm going to be financially responsible, but I do love you. Here are your flowers.
What if I did a bouquet of wild grasses?
It could be nice. Are you doing it because you're thinking of her, or you're thinking how funny you are?
No, I'm thinking of the zoysia. Comes back quick.
It's evergreen. We'll be right back. So let's talk about the Funny Bone this weekend. stlewisfunnybone.com. That's stlewisfunnybone.com. Tom Shillue joined us in the noon hour, 12:20-ish on the Annie Frey Show. He was here with us, and we talked about Nate Bargatze and comedy and his career, but also the fact that he's going to be here in St. Louis this weekend. Friday and Saturday at the Westport Funny Bone. He's very excited to be at the other club that he's normally at the Streets of St. Charles. This time, you're going to be able to see Tom Shillue at Westport. Friday and Saturday only, and tickets available at stlewisfunnybone.com. You've seen him on Gutfeld, Fox Nation. He's appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. He's Tom Shillue. You're very familiar with him. He does Joe Biden as an incredible impression. You are going to want to get these tickets before they are gone. stlewisfunnybone.com. Also appearing at the Streets of St. Charles this weekend, Gabe Kia. You can go check out his stuff. He's open for Nikki Glazer and Dave Chappelle, and lots of great comics coming this July. All the details, including those tickets to go see our friend Tom Shillue at stlewisfunnybone.com.
We're here to celebrate America's 250th birthday in 2026. This is 97.1 FM Talk. America 250 is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. When we meet our clients for the first time, they have built up a lifetime of savings. Their question is, what can we do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? First, we develop a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. Then, we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money.
You've earned it, and it's our job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You will also get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 40 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Take your lawn from good to great with my friends at Lawn Enforcement. I'm talking expert lawn care services to keep your lawn in order. And here's what they'll do for you. Anybody can mow your grass. At Lawn Enforcement, they want to enhance your property. They'll do the mowing and the trimming. They'll fertilize and implement a weed control program and erosion control, which includes retaining walls if you need it. They can landscape. They can design and install your flowers, your shrubs, your trees, all of your hardscapes. No project is too big or too small for my friends at Lawn Enforcement. You can check them out online at yourlawnenforcement.com. So instead of envying your neighbor's lawn, your neighbors are going to be wishing they had the lawn and landscape that you have. Go ahead and enjoy your space. Be proud when you entertain your friends and your family. They've been in business for over 30 years. Be sure and tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to yourlawnenforcement.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
The YouTube poll, do you ever feel fatigued with the prevalence of the topic of Donald Trump? Yes, and you support him. Yes, you don't support him. And no, you don't feel fatigued. I think my vote on this poll is yes, and I support him. Only because the way that the topic creeps into, I mean, I'm talking outside of the context of this show, but the only way that it creeps up is I only ever have to defend him. So I kind of do get tired of that because sometimes I'm like, he doesn't need me to defend him. The policies that he's enforcing, I support. And the attacks that people make on Donald Trump are often equally applied to the people who support him. It's almost like there's an indiscrimination between President Trump and people who helped him get where he got.
Isn't that the case of any president when it's your guy, though? You always are having to play defense.
No, I don't feel like when Joe Biden was the president, they just didn't talk about the things. Now you've got people coming out being like, he seemed like he might have been a little aged. Oh!
Aged.
Yeah.
Like
you
a wine.
seem to be a little blind and deaf. I just don't feel like the media group hug that benefits the left. It's easy enough for them to just pretend that a different reality exists. I think they probably think the exact same thing about us. So I feel like we live in congruent realities with entirely different sets of facts. I think that Donald Trump is going to be historically recognized as one of the most pivotal presidents that this country has ever had. And I will, barring anything crazy happening between now and 2029 when he steps out of office, I will defend him for the rest of my life and make sure that anybody who talks to me about it in the future understands what he was put through and what he had to overcome and still chose to fight against it in order to make a country that he believed in and back a country that he knew could be better than the road it was heading down, that he literally put his life on the line multiple times in order to see that through. I will defend that forever. I hope that the frequency of having to do that maybe lessens over time, but I don't know that it will.
One text says, I am with Trump. I mean, there's a lot of them. I just picked this one. I'm with Trump. Yes, sometimes he drives me crazy talking. However, LOL, I am with him. He's trying to make this country good. Nothing but hatred comes out of the news media. Democrats are hurting this country so bad, and they're going to remember this next election, too. So you can't continually hate that man and put him under every day of your life.
Brad, what's your answer to this question?
It's the first one. I support him, but I'm tired of it. And it really flows from that hatred Ryan was just mentioning from that last texter there. It's exhausting to listen to people turn what is objectively good things and try to make them a loss for Trump, like beautifying Washington, D.C. That is an objectively good thing.
Well, we asked you on the Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat poll, and 181 votes in. 7% of you said you're tired of it and you don't support him. Thank you for listening to the show, 7%. 23% of you said, no, you're not tired of it. You're with Ryan. And 70% of it were with Brad and with me saying, yeah, I'm getting a little fatigued, but I do support him. Thank you for voting in the poll. Thank you for listening on 97.1 FM Talk, The Mark Reardon Show, coming up next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
From baby boomers through Gen Z, every generation leaves money on the table by buying into certain financial myths. Financial planner Sherry